going. We're live on YouTube and live on the TikTok. We got people scrolling in.
Hey.
Howdy ho, people.
This is TPAW
And Karnage on
Crazy Pose, and we're here to talk about Loki and Percy Jackson and whatever else comes to mind. You know how it goes.
what was the movie? Oh, we saw The Elements.
That's right, we did see
this
Elements.
week.
Yeah.
Because I talked about it when it popped up on the stuff that could watch. Where did the energy drinks go? Did you bring them up yet?
Yes, they went down here.
Okay. I just figured I'd ask because I want at least one of my naturals sitting here.
Yep.
I'll steal the other one for after the podcast because I'll down it in the morning. Because it's almost like the same stuff that's on there, high performance and whatnot, and
Yep.
a lot of the same stuff. Except
Rain
with your electrolyte.
Overlord.
Yeah,
Water
you're showing
Lord.
them, but you're not showing these too.
Rain Water Warlord.
Yeah.
If you're Rain and
You want to sponsor us?
you make energy
Or-
drinks.
If you want to sponsor him,
Yes.
talk to
Sponsor
him.
the T-Paw's Playground channel.
Yeah.
That's right, TikTok's T-Paw's Playground.
Nas.
Yep.
Sponsor me, Nas.
On
Because
YouTube-
I'm sorry, I was one of the first people that drank Nas when it first came out and loved the shit.
Share live. Oh, okay. If you guys want to share the live with everybody, then do so.
Do the famous, because I know it works on YouTube too. Do the famous
Like and
copy
subscribe.
link. No, copy link
Yeah.
first, then like and subscribe on YouTube. Follow me here, and for anybody who actually stays, follow each other if you're not already following each other on TikTok.
Yes. Yeah, and I'm on Twitter as well as at TPA Wolfric on Twitter, and then or
Karnage
X.
6778. That's why I always
Yep.
say that.
Yep. And then on Instagram, I'm under. I've got two different profiles. I've got TPA Wolfric, which is my author one, but then the one that I post the most on is Peter SF1991, and on Threads under Peter SF1991. So there you go.
Threads. There's an interesting one.
Yeah, no, it's
I
a
can't even
newer
look at
app.
my apps because my phone's sitting there for TikTok. But
Yeah.
there's been a couple of well, the new Reddit or Discord is it's not Threads. What's the other one? Or no, it might be Threads. Because I found Rachel on Threads.
Oh, you did.
Yeah. She was just one of the ones that instantly popped up. I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
how's it going? She's like, I just found this app. I'm like, I've been listening to people talk about it for like the last 6 months.
Yeah, Chelsea, Katrina's sister,
Yeah.
you guys' cousins. She actually followed me on
Crazy
Threads
fuck.
out of nowhere. I was the one night. I think it was either after the last podcast we did, or it was around that time frame. I went on my phone and it said, Chelsea has followed you on Threads, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And then like I saw that like it's been like a mix of like people from our real life who already know me on Facebook and other places,
Or because they already have Threads and it auto
Yeah.
connects to your contacts.
and it also connects to your Instagram too. So a lot of randomness is
let's
just
see.
coming in all at once.
My Instagram is connected to my Facebook, and my Facebook and Instagram auto connect to my TikTok, so it's all connected.
Starting
I don't
to
have
figure
the
it out,
links, but 90. I mean, on all of them, I think I have Karnage 6778.
yeah,
The one that gave me the most trouble was TikTok because it's
Yeah.
like, here's your actual name because it's connected to your Facebook, and I'm like, no, this is the name that I use on TikTok and I use everywhere that's on the internet. I've tried to go in and like change.
there we go. Now we're more centered.
Oh, now I got a little more that way. There you go.
There we
I just
go.
needed a smidge. But no, I literally. What was that? Oh yeah, I had to change my TikTok back to Karnage 6778.
Oh,
That's my screen name.
yeah.
It's like, no, that's what your name of your channel is, but whenever you write to anybody, my full name was starting to come up. I'm like,
Yeah.
I gotta fix that. No.
Because we've been going under aliases
the
now.
Carnage.
They've been
I
going-
am Karnage 6778.
Fun fact, guys, on TikTok, the very beginning of the show, for the first, 10, 20 episodes, we were going under our real names, and then I'm like, out of nowhere, I was like, how about if we just, because I've been trying to get my pen name to have some sort of power to it, and, have some oomph to it, and, people would know who I was. I was like, why don't we just go by our screen names on on the
all
podcast
media shit.
and stuff. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm down for that." And I'm like, "Yeah, it kind of is also protection just in case shit goes south." So,
oh, you know me.
so
I'm like,
yeah.
Shit goes south. Come at me. Come
Yeah.
find me.
So it's like,
Because if people start coming and finding me, you know me. I'll
so,
just disappear into the ether. Fuck it.
so he decided to go by his regular name he's been going by for years, and me, I just went with my author name so that it can get some mileage. But yeah, so it's TPAW and Karnage, as you will.
Yeah,
But,
because what is it? Excuse me. With Karnage, I've used that everywhere, and the 6778 comes from my original Yahoo email,
Yeah.
which got stolen or just lost because I just forgot to log into it for a few years and I can't get it back. So either somebody else took it because it was like the whole library thing.
Yeah.
You've hit your time. We're not gonna let you log out of here, Yahoo. We're just gonna bloop.
Yeah.
So I think somebody stole my email.
Yeah, there's a possibility of that. I mean, emails are fucking free, so you can easily steal an email anytime you want.
Yeah.
Especially if it becomes unused.
Or if
Inactive.
or if you find
Yeah.
it still logged on the computer.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the email that I created like a couple years back for my
You shut up, you
business
fat
website
bitch.
thing. Pretty sure that email is either taken already or it's just inactive. It's need to be
You got
reactivated.
50-50.
But yeah, no, I actually had a domain name, guys. I had a domain name T-Plus Playground, so I just need to get that reactivated at some point. It just life got hectic and crazy, and I wasn't gonna shell out the money for it anymore.
There we
for a
go.
little
No,
while.
I'm not. Hey, Simba. Tell out of the way. They want to see my face, not your ass.
It's like
Especially because it's my channel on TikTok.
cut ass.
Bitch and complain, then don't stick your butt up in the air. You can have a happy tell, just not all the way up here in my face and in the way of the lunacy they come to see. Because I mean, anybody who follows me or sees me on TikTok, usually it's random shit.
Yeah, and besides, if it'd be funny though, is if somebody got a screen grab of your face and it's like cattails in your face or cat asses in the face, and that becomes a YouTube short.
I would kick your butt. I'm like, that's my face. And I only
Hey,
want
I'm not
10% of
saying
the
I
profit.
did it. I could claim, anonymity and
I
be
tell
like,
you shit.
like I plead the fifth. I didn't do it. It's out in the ether though. Someone did it.
Fucking evil. But yeah.
Yeah, so what'd you think of the Loki show?
I liked the last. Well, I mean, I liked the whole second season because I like, we enjoyed it because we watched it together, kind of,
Yep.
on the first season,
Mhm.
and I like where it went on the first season. I 10 times like more like the second season,
I have to
especially
say,
the ending. The ending, in my head, and like we've talked about, the little Loki says, "Yes, they finally put me in my proper spot."
yeah,
Sort
no,
of shit.
I have to say, out of the entire series, I think the last three. I'll have to rewatch the first season to really have this
Can you
verdict.
mute that thing?
But the last three, hang on. The last three, yeah, that is going to be annoying. The last three
also, I was just
episodes
thinking
of
about
the entire
TikTok.
series
Just shut up, stupid.
is probably going to be my favorite. Is the spatial sound? Yeah, let's go with off. There we go. Hopefully that doesn't do it anymore. But my favorite part.
Well, if it messes up something on the computer, you can fix it later.
Yeah. My favorite part of the entire series is the last three episodes of season 2. Probably. Aside from the alligator Loki. Aside from all the Lokis from first season. That was
At the
probably.
end of first season?
Yeah. That was probably
No,
my
that
favorite.
was enjoyable. And it's like, well, he can't even prove he's Loki. He's just an alligator or crocodile. I don't remember what they said he was. And it's like, yeah, but because you can't prove it and you don't know if he's telling the truth or not, isn't that kind of like the Loki thing to do? So he became a Loki just by doing that?
Right.
I found the hilarity in that.
I think though that my favorite part of the entire series was, ironically, the ending.
Yes.
Like the very last piece of that entire series capped it. Like if they don't go anymore with season 3, like if there's no other
Well,
season
I
3
mean,
and that's it.
I know
Perfect way to end
it pisses off a lot of people who are like, yeah, well that doesn't work because the gods who are in charge of everything in the multiverse are supposed to be these gods and da 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 da. Loki can't just take it over. Why not? His title is God. His job is God. He literally became the god he should be by actually being a god.
It's also a comic book. Like, there's an entire comic book arc in Marvel is about
screen time is
God of Stories. He's no longer the god of mischief and chaos at that point. He's the god of stories. Which the god of mischief and chaos is inside of God of Stories.
That was part of the... When you said that, I'm like, well... I just think you took on a new title. Just from my point of view, if you're the god of stories, what's in every story? In every reality, in every existence?
Yeah,
chaos.
Yeah.
So being the god of stories, you automatically are also the god of chaos. Without even a second thought, it's just instantaneous.
Yeah, no, I absolutely loved how they did that, because that also means that he literally can see any and all reality at any time. And
so he can visit everybody and anybody that he wants to while not moving an inch.
And in some ways, he could revisit his brother multiple times in different universes and see which ones were available, and then just kind of get like a lowdown of like, okay, it was inevitable that this would happen, and that way no misgivings are even possible with him, because he already sees everything that could have happened before.
And he understands it, yeah.
And he understands it, and he ends up understanding his brother more than he ever did before.
Oh, yeah.
And he also understands his father. And so then when he ends up, if he ends up running into Odin again, Odin will be talking to him as being the Allfather, and Loki will be like, I mean, I have enough knowledge to be like the ultimate Allfather.
Well, see, the funny part with Odin, once you die as a god, you go to a different existence. It's like dying as a mortal. Where do you go? To the afterlife.
Yeah, well, they're also going to be adapting my brain. Come on now. Where all people... Thor Heaven.
Okay.
You know, where they all die when they're dying battle.
I can't.
They're adapting it for the movies. Like they are already talking
look it up
about.
On your phone. Your phone's not occupied with TikTok.
That's true. They're already going to be adapting that for the movies. Like they're already talking about it.
All you gotta do is type in Heaven of
Nordic Heaven.
Yeah, you write it that way too. North's Heaven.
Valhalla.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they're going to be adapting Valhalla and putting it into the newest Thor movie, because they're talking about either possibly killing off Thor or just simply bringing him to Valhalla.
He's basically said he's done playing Thor.
Yeah.
So they have to find a way to let him go.
Yeah, they're talking about doing a fifth movie with Hercules as being the bad guy.
Hercules?
Yeah. Bringing Hercules into the picture.
So is that going to be The Rock? Because The Rock played Hercules in the Hercules movie, I think.
I don't remember him playing Hercules.
Like I said, you get your phone.
I know he played Black Adam.
Yeah, but that's Marvel. That's not...
That's DC.
I mean, that's DC, not Marvel.
Yeah.
Brain flip-flopped.
Who played Hercules?
In newest movie.
In newest movie.
Yeah, because I thought it was The Rock.
They're looking to cast Michael B. Jordan as the lead in live-action Hercules.
No. That's the Disney one. I'm talking about the other one.
Marvel?
No, it was just Hercules. It's a recent movie. I haven't seen it, but I've heard people talk about it.
The most recent one that's showing is for...
But that's Disney.
It's for 2014. Hang on.
That might be
Newest
it. I mean, you'd have to...
Hercules.
You're just type in all Hercules movies. Because there was one where they were talking about, or they showed like some... Yeah, that one. Yeah, see, The Rock.
Oh, he did play Hercules.
Yeah,
In
that
like 2014.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
I've never seen it either, but I remember, shots of it coming up when people were reviewing it.
Yeah.
I think it's on Max.
That would be interesting as hell.
You might have to look on Max.
Like
see if
Dwayne
it's on
Johnson freaking plays Hercules, and he's, you know, the guy who ends up killing off Thor. Or Thor sacrificed himself in some way.
That would be the way for him to go into
Yeah,
the Marvel
to
universe.
go into Valhalla. Yeah.
Well, not even Valhalla. It's the thing of he's now a part of the Marvel universe, so now Dwayne doesn't have to go for any other movies. He can just do this one for another however many years, or because he's old too, he can like do a couple movies and like, okay, I'm good, I'm done.
Yeah. Plus, also it brings them to the Ultimate Thor. They go past Valhalla. Because in the story, in the comic book, Thor dies, goes to Valhalla, you know, is as mortal as you can get to being mortal with his godly form. Goes to Valhalla, and then he ends up becoming the Ultimate Thor. And is like way more powerful than previously.
What I always thought funny with the like concept of death, it kind of goes into like the whole the tree of life.
Yeah.
Like we talked about.
Which they put in
the
Loki.
end of Thor, they put in. What was it you called it? You called it. I can't remember the Norse name for the tree of life. Or the equivalent, or as close to the equivalent as the tree of life from Norse mythology. And what we were discussing.
My brain is doing a great job of not remembering
last Wednesday, we were discussing that actually that's not the tree of life from like the true Christian religion, not Catholicism, because I don't consider
Yggdrasil.
Yeah, Yggdrasil is a child of the tree of life. That's why, or it is the tree of life, and they used it.
It's the Norse tree of life, encompassing all 9 worlds that are part of the ancient Norse view of the cosmos. It is an ash tree in which all of the worlds, including the world of humans and the world of the gods, nestle among the branches and roots, which is interesting as fuck to me.
Well, think about it this way. We'll actually go into that, like what we were talking about last week.
Yeah.
Because we didn't podcast, because I'm like, we'll take a week off, we'll finish Loki, or... Yeah, because we finished off Loki because you needed one last episode. I'm like, we'll just finish Loki and we'll just podcast this
Yeah,
week.
we decided, and I personally wanted a break. I personally was just like, going, we're going to just watch Loki for right now, and then afterwards we'll just, and he's like, how about we just take a break? And I'm like, well, that's kind of what I was going for. So, you know, because you need to recharge and stuff every so often. But,
every month or two we take off a week.
Yeah, no, we do, because you have to. You have to take somewhat of a breather. But which happens when we work out at the gym. We go to the gym nonstop, and then every so often we'll take like a week off, or take like a few days off, or a couple days off, or a day off. But basically, we were watching Loki. We got to the end of it, and one of the last few shots of Loki is Yggdrasil, and I loved it.
Which I said is literally the. Well, I explained it. Yggdrasil is literally the Norse mythology trying to explain the Christian Judaic the tree of life that's hidden in the Garden of Eden.
And I spitballed. I'm like, what if Yggdrasil was the tree that gave Eve the apple that she ate, which gave her knowledge?
And I said, I don't think it would be Yggdrasil. I think it would be like a descendant of the tree of life or Yggdrasil, because it would be one of the offspring trees. Because it wouldn't be that tree specifically, because that tree, I mean, it's a possibility, because that tree's in the mythos that I know, that tree can give you the knowledge of the gods.
Yeah.
Which is what the tree of the Garden of Eden is supposed to do, but it's also supposed to, you can literally become a god. And that goes completely against...
Which goes against the original story of Adam and Eve, yes. I just figured it would be cool as fuck if the Yggdrasil
I understood what
was
you were
like
going,
connected to the apple.
My whole thing was...
It'd give it more meaning to me.
It's not the same tree, because it was the same tree after you eat it to get the fruit, to get the knowledge of the gods, which is basically the tree of knowledge.
Yeah.
You eat the golden fruit, not the red or whatever color the fruit of knowledge is, and then you become a god, which is why the tree of life is blocked from Adam and Eve after they eat from the fruit of knowledge, because if you eat from the fruit of knowledge and the fruit of immortality, then you quite literally are God, because now you know everything and you will never die.
Right,
but eating the fruit of knowledge takes you from a child of immortality, before you learn all the knowledge to be a god, to literally turns you into immortal, so that way you can reproduce and
Which is funny because me spitballing that idea, which to me sounded awesome. It sounded like a cool fantasy idea.
Well, no, I told you that was a good idea.
But like at the same time,
I diffused it because I'm like, that doesn't work with the mythology. I know.
well, you disagreed with it and stuff because of that whole idea and the fact that her eating the apple was supposed to be punishment because it made it to where she was mortal now, as opposed to just being whatever she was before then. A living, breathing person that didn't die. That was in the Garden of Eden.
It's immortal versus mortal with the knowledge of what is good and evil.
And my brain was trying to make sense of Nordic type information and mythology, and then trying to translate it to, as you call it, Judeo-Christian, ideology and history
Muslim,
and stuff.
Yeah.
And trying to equate the two, being like, that would be cool as fuck.
Buddhists, which Hinduism is a branch of Buddhism, or Buddhism is a branch of Hinduism, but whatever, the main book literally talks about the exact same thing. The only difference is the Adam and Eve part's changed and a few of the names are changed, but it's literally the same fucking story. It's told in most, as far as I consider, true or real origin book stories or origin religion stories, because most of them go over the same thing. They say the same thing. The only difference between the Judeo-Christian Muslim one to the other ones, which are considered paganism or Wiccan or whatever, is there is a god, there is basically archangels, which would be what everybody claims are gods.
Yeah.
Because it's godlike powers to the moral form and entity, but at the same time, it's the thing of there's different levels. I mean, we have. I actually, because she threw in the foam, I have the diagram sitting in storage. We could bring it back and just show everybody.
Yeah, that is true. We could bring that chart back.
Or we could take a picture
that
and
chart
put it on
is
the computer and have it sitting up there in the little blank spot right there.
Yeah, that chart is now 2 or 3 years old.
On YouTube.
That would be an interesting thing if we took a picture of it and then I put it up here, put it up somewhere in there, the screen you guys are looking at
on YouTube.
YouTube.
If you're on Twitch and want to see what we're talking about on YouTube, it's literally over here next to his head or on the other side of his head. There's a little black spot right above the cover to his book.
Yeah,
it's a blank space, and we could take a picture.
I've just never filled the space.
We could honestly take a picture with the camera. It's literally put it up and put the camera full screen it.
Yeah.
To take a picture of it and you screenshot it, and then we could compact it into that spot.
Yeah, that would be interesting as hell.
And then if somebody wants to see it, screenshot it and blow it up.
Yeah, because I don't necessarily get much time to test drive what it looks like on someone's phone or on a computer monitor. And I was sitting there in the bedroom one night while the wife was watching the podcast on the computer because the kid was like, "Daddy, I want to see your guys' show." And I'm like, "I don't know if it's for children." And he's like, "But I want to see you do a podcast." And because my kid's the exception to the rule for me. I was like, okay, fine. Well, we'll let you watch it for a few minutes and until you pass out, because our show's not that short. Our show is quite a while for a child.
2 to 4 hours.
Yeah,
some days.
It's on some days.
Depends on how early
extensive.
we get in and get it all set up.
It could be anywhere from an hour and a half to 3 hours sometimes. But for a child, especially for my child, that typically is supposed to be in bed by 8:30 to 9. Sometimes they don't actually fall asleep till 9:30, which is frustrating and whatever. But
it's irritating as a parent, yeah.
But by the time we get the show started, it's 10-20 minutes in, he's crashed out usually as it's supposed to be. So so I went in there one night and the wife was replaying an old broadcast from the prior, and I'm laying on the bed just kind of looking at the monitor, and I'm like, it is so weird seeing it from this point of view, and the wife's like, what? And I'm like,
because the screen's so
from where
small
I'm sitting here,
preview,
from where I'm sitting here, it looks weird on this end, and she's like, oh yeah, no, this is what it looks like all the time. And I'm like, look over, I'm like, holy shit, we look big. And she was just all like, wait, what? Does it look that big? And I'm like, from my end, it's like a tiny square, and I'm having to fit everything into a perfect area. And so Karnage, when he hears that, he goes, oh yeah. And so my book cover looks like this nice sideways rectangle on the screen, but it looks like blown up, and so the sexy chick is on the cover, and she looks more awesome on her monitor versus on mine because mine's shrunk. And so there's like this black space that's vacant, and suddenly I'm like, I need to fill that up.
The OBS to make what we see not be small and make it a full screen. Like we see what they see.
Yeah, well,
but
haven't
the issue
played around with OBS
that I
that much.
see also is because on the OBS for the YouTube, we can't see if the microphone's on.
I am going to be
that's my
reconfiguring some stuff and playing around with some stuff on this program. It's just
because he has
the last
his
6 months have been
laptop
filled with
here.
broken leg, other stuff, just life, and so I pretty much
just life.
Yes,
handicapped people's life.
That is true. Handicapped people life consumes a lot of time.
It's like we were making fun of the thing, and you're like, well, yeah, because it's you fucking regularly able fucker.
Yeah.
Making fun of you without trying to make fun of you. It's like, God damn you regularly moving person. It's like, are y'all picking on me? Kind of because you're normal. At least with your physical capabilities.
I am far from normal.
No, but with your physical capabilities.
Yeah.
It's the thing where we have our limitations where you don't on certain things.
Yes, which I enjoy not having limitations as much.
I mean, my only limitation, I've literally talked about it and admitted, is literally just the physical form. Other than that, fuck off, kiss my ass. I am as close to a god-level creature as you can get being stuck in a mortal body.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, that's like Adam.
Hey, but at least
Noah.
I'm not like an abled person who is like abled myself, like ableism myself.
Oh yeah, you don't ableist yourself.
I don't discriminate against, for instance, you guys or anybody else that is less abled and stuff. I just kind of am me and doing what I can.
Yeah, but I mean, like we talked about in the car, we're always the ones because we're always getting picked on for being disabled.
Yeah.
Especially physically, it's like, yeah, but my disability makes me a badass, and you being regular makes you a bitch.
Hey,
and it's not even like trying to be mean; it's literally a defense mechanism.
Right.
And then we got into the whole discussion about defense mechanisms, and that's why I'm like, yeah, you're giving it a title, which means you're limiting it. That brought up the whole conversation.
I feel like with the way I've gone out of my way, especially recently, to help out the wife with her stuff, has like really kind of.
You understand it a lot more now.
Well, not only do I understand a lot more, but like anybody else, especially someone who's an ableist, would never have done all the shit I've done, like at all. And I know that myself. Like I'm consciously aware of that. I'm like, anybody else would never have done this shit. So I end up patting myself on the back a bit more, and not necessarily being less humble about it, but like appreciating what I'm able to do to help her out more.
Yeah.
Because of the fact
when
that
you live with somebody who has limitations, you're like, I'm so thankful I don't have those limitations.
Yeah, especially when like I flash back to being in the hospital and not being able to move much, and then like the next day or two, I'm like, I have legs. Did you know that? I have legs, and they can work. And the doctor goes, I am sure you have legs, and they're supposed to work. And then the nurse was like, you took it for granted this entire time, didn't you? And I'm like, a little bit. But I'd never lost them, so how would I know that? Like, the only time I didn't know how to use my legs was when I was 2 years old, and I don't remember that much. So, like...
I have a few memories, like I said, like we've talked about on here. Those memories are memories that I still have. I can pull them up at any time.
Yeah.
Because they're so defined and different than the rest of the memories in my life.
Yeah.
It's literally, I see my origin story from inside the body of stuff that most people don't remember being that young, and it's like, I like that I still have those memories.
I ticked him off a couple times on accident because I kept going on about how I have legs and I know how to use, like I can actually use them. And at first he got a little like about it, but then I explained to him, I'm like, no, dude, like I nearly died recently. Like there's a reason why I'm saying this. It's because I'm taking it. I'm appreciating what my legs can do even more than I did before.
It was an oddity.
Yeah.
Like, no shit, asshole, you can walk.
Yeah, he was getting a little rah about it, but then like after I explained to him what was going on, he was just like, "Oh, that's what you're dealing with. You're dealing with mortal problems."
Better point of view.
Yes, you're dealing with mortal problems. You're not being a cocky asshole.
Yeah, it's the realization of your mortality. Okay,
yes.
that's a little bit more acceptable than aha, I have legs that work.
Yeah.
Because that's what it looked like at first. I'm like, the fuck are you trying to pull here, asshole?
Yeah. It's because of the fact that, days before that, I was laying on the couch thinking, I am gonna die. And, like, blacking out and, like, fucking, like, seeing the friggin' rainbow of the universe and the other side and the veil and shit like that. And then the wife ended up, pulling me out of it. And it was a whole thing. And then I can't believe the first words out of my mouth, because I remember. First words out of my mouth after I came back into mortality was, "Why are you kissing me?" She was doing resuscitation.
Use your tongue next time, sweetheart.
Oh, yeah, no, I told that. I was like, "Are you trying to slip me the tongue?" And she's just like, "Babe, are you okay?" And I'm like, "Oh, God, did I just die?" And she's like, "No, you almost did, though." And she's all, like, teary-eyed and shit. Like...
Oh, I mean, it's emotional.
Yeah.
Okay, let me rephrase that. It's emotional for people who don't have grip with the possibility that it could happen at any point in the winter time.
Yeah.
Me, I'm so... I mean, you've listened to my lunacy. I call it lunacy because everybody's like, he's fucking nuts. But I find it as a benefit. We've discussed that. But my lunacy with the whole thing, well, I know this moral form will disintegrate and become nothing.
Yeah.
Not worried about it. Why? Because there's a God. Well, I don't believe in God. Then you're going to go to the outer darkness, so after you die, all you're going to see is blackness and nothingness because you literally deny He exists. You deny your Father, your Creator, so literally it says in the rule book, because you deny Him,
mm-hmm.
you're going to basically where Lucifer went, to the, you can't see anything, all it is just black forever.
Yeah, it's just blackness and darkness and, like, nothingness.
Yeah, the only light comes from you as the energy form you are when you no longer are limited by your physical creation, which limits, because even if it's a third of heaven went with Lucifer was considered the outer darkness, or what I know as the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints calls the outer darkness, because that was something that I don't see him talking about or being brought up a lot.
Yeah.
And that's what we've discussed. Some of the people in the church aren't actual members because they don't know the full story. They were never told. So they have some hiccup room because they were never explained or told the full story.
Yeah.
But it's the thing, if you're literally in the middle of nowhere, it's not turning off all your lights and you're still sitting in a chair and you know where everything is because you've walked through it 1,000 times. It's literally, there's nothing. You can't trip over anything. You can't bump into anything except for other entities that are there. But it's so dark and out so far in the middle of nowhere in the cosmos.
Yeah.
It's literally nothing. And if, with some people's arguments, the universe is the cosmos and everything on top of itself cannot be infinite. If it is infinite and it goes on forever, how far out do you have to be in the middle of nowhere where you can't see anything and there's no light anywhere?
You have to go pretty fucking far.
Just think about that in, like, not even light years, light years the speed that we measure it by. Or
yeah,
the distance.
light years is kind of the way we measure
light years is a distance and
it's like speed of light
and a span.
Yeah.
A span.
It's also how we measure space travel currently.
Well, that's because of Star Trek. He was ahead of his time, and okay, we're going this fast, this many, what is it, warp 5 or whatever, and that's because the shield in Star Trek is a temporal shield, so that way you are not in regular space, so that way you can move faster than the speed of light, because the temporal limitations, because stuff can only move as fast as light, and that would destroy you in your mortal or any physical form. We found a way to make a shield so that way you can move faster than that.
Yeah.
I mean, my brain just goes, well, duh.
Yeah. I will say, though, what I was going to say before is that...
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Due to... And this is something I've been thinking about a lot this last year especially. especially with all the.
Of course.
Especially with all. I mean, anytime I go through hardships or anytime I experience external toxicity or external negativity, which then ends up coalescing with my own, and I'm all, because it's, as I've said before,
But it also teaches you a lesson.
yeah, as long as on this podcast on both sides, whether it's TikTok or YouTube,
or Twitch when we used to do that.
yeah, I've talked about how I have my own personal journey that I'm constantly undergoing, and he has played an instrumental role in helping with dealing with it, because before that I was just like trying to find a way forward myself, especially
while hating
after
all of the paths in front of you.
yeah, well, yeah. There was a lot of anger and a lot of rage and a lot of like childhood trauma and then adult trauma. Like it was just like one giant meaty, angry ball of package and
Drama, hatred, and other shit.
yes, stuff that would put you in hell. You know, depending on what you believe. And
yeah, you put yourself in your own personal hell.
yeah, and so for me, it's like everybody thinks, killing somebody or doing this or doing that will put you in hell. I feel like, and this is a personal belief, especially after absorbing quite a bit of spiritual knowledge, the only way it would do that is if you're guilty. Because it has to do with Anubis and the scales and the heart and stuff.
That kind of goes
And
into the
shame.
Lucifer show.
Right.
Your regret is the only reason you're stuck in hell.
Exactly, because it's
you
punishment.
always regret it.
But it's self-inflicted punishment. And
It's
and so,
always. That's
and
why I
so-
like the Lucifer show, because he literally mapped that
how
out.
this lines up and the reason why I'm speaking to it, because a lot of people talk about it as theories or they talk about it as beliefs based on their own, however they come to their conclusions. For me, it's based on that event of me medically dying,
Yeah.
and then
Coming back.
and then her having to resuscitate me and stuff. What I saw was weird, like with the whole veil, and then like at
Well,
first
I know
before
you've tried to describe it to me, and I'm like,
yeah,
and you're like, what do you mean, It's like that's what I've always seen.
yeah, because like
I know the first time you described it to me, it threw you the fuck off because I'm like, well, duh.
yeah, no, I was describing it
But
to him
anyway, back to your
initially.
story.
I was describing to him initially off the air because of the fact that I wasn't sure how to process it really. I've spent. It has now been since
5
20.
or 6 years.
Yeah, no, it's been since 2020. It's been now 4 years since I.
Was it in 20? I thought it was in 19.
March of 2020, because Mom died in April 2019.
Oh, that's right.
So
it was like almost a year later.
yes,
That's right.
it was
I remember
literally
you
a
telling me
fucking
about
year
that.
later that happened. Like it's kind of scary how that works. But March of 2020, I medically died, and the wife had to resuscitate me and do that stuff. And
At least she knew what to do.
like my body
that's
was
the
in
big
extreme
benefit.
shock, and the doctor literally told her, because at first we were like, oh, he almost died, or oh, he, I just went into shock and whatever. Doctor really told her, he's like, no, based on everything you're talking about and based on all his blood tests and all the other stuff that we've gathered from him, he died. He was dead, and then you brought him back. Like if he'd gone any longer, he'd be brain dead. He'd be just like how you described his mom. Because she was like panicking and went on a ramble fest about my mom, and like so I basically the reason why I talk about all this is because when I went into that
realm,
whatever you want to call it, when I went in there, all I saw at first was blackness, darkness. I saw the bleeding heart of suffering. I saw the black ball of my own
bullshit.
yes. I saw
I'll just say bullshit.
Yeah, I
That's the
saw
easiest
all
way to
of
explain
that,
it.
and I didn't know how to process it because to me all I saw was just emptiness and blackness. And then as the rainbow and the kaleidoscope colors started to shift in and come in, and they were swirling around me, like
you became aware of where you actually were.
Yes.
Aside from the holy shit, I'm in a fucking dark tunnel.
Yeah.
Like it's always described, the light at the end of the tunnel sort of bullshit.
Yeah, except for the light at the end of the tunnel isn't a reprieve. And so
right.
And I was sitting there and I was looking at it and I was when I was in that space, it was all filtering in, and because the kaleidoscope came in, much like with photography where you're able to brighten the image and it starts to reveal everything, I was like, oh, that's my personal hell. That's where I'd be going if I were to leave this coil. And like you know, and it wouldn't be something that it's not like some big giant mythical place of flames and fury and inferno. It's not like an Iceland or whatever they want to call it.
My biggest bitch about them describing hell.
Yeah.
It's fire and brimstone. No, that's Tartarus, asshole.
Right. Yeah.
Pay attention to the mythos. That's Earth hell. That's
not
realm. True hell.
Yeah, it's a different realm.
True hell is a completely different fucking skill, and it's a million times worse than Tartarus. Yeah. If you get in Tartarus, dude, praise and pray to whatever god you pray to get there and not go to fucking real hell. Because real hell is a million times worse.
Yeah.
Oh, like, fuck.
Yeah, because the personal hell is like, it's like a version of what you're describing with the whole pure eternal blackness of like far away from any light whatsoever. It's like your own version of it. And my theory is, this is where I'm theorizing, that I would spend enough time there that if I didn't overcome whatever it was that I was stuck in, then I would go there. But if I did overcome it, then I would eventually move on to whatever that veil, that gray, rainy cloud veil was.
It's the non-realization of death, so you can't accept that you're dead. So the thought of, does God exist, sort of, you know, because we'd already started discussing, because it was in 1819,
yeah.
Nephi started dragging me over at first, and then me and you got in real deep discussions, and me dragging you to the gym with Nephi, or just me and you shooting the shit in general.
Yeah.
Especially for the podcast at first, we just got into such deep conversations. You're like, I never thought about it like that. Like, all the other gods exist, but they're like the lower gods, and
yeah, they're all
mythos with, like, with the Percy Jackson, because we want to talk about that series about Kronos trying to come back.
Yep.
It's literally, Kronos is not actually a bad guy who's thrown in Tartarus. Kronos is literally them trying to claim God as being the bad guy, like what is considered Lucifer, because he went against the plan and said, no, we're not going to fucking do that.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you go up against the thing that creates everything and sparked existence, aka the Big Bang.
Yep.
If there's nothing everywhere and it's all nothing for nothing, the outer darkness, and it blips into reality, what did that? An all-powerful being who is not limited by time or reality. From your point of view, he is beyond anything that you consider reality.
Yeah.
Because he created the reality that we exist in. And that whole mythos about, well, he's in hell of hells. And my brain goes, oh, so that's the explanation that the fallen angels, or whatever you want to call them, the old school gods, are literally trying to explain away God the Father, the most exalted entity ever, is, oh no, he's evil, he was dark, he tried to kill us all.
Yeah.
That's literally them trying to say we're the good guys, while they're at the same time being little assholes who are just pissed that somebody else got the title they want.
Yep. That's part of why why I'm hyperfixating so much on all this God stuff and all this, like, pantheons and mythologies and
different levels,
different levels and stuff, is because of my experience with mortality. And because any other time, I probably would just be like, oh, that sounds interesting, or that sounds, you know, fascinating. Sounds like a nice piece of fantasy.
Well, I remember me and you talking about it forever, and then that happened, and then you didn't tell me for like a week or two, and then you told me. I'm like, okay, did you see some of the stuff I've been like rambling and bullshit and randomly about? And you're like, yeah. And then you try to dive into it. I'm like, that checks.
I was literally just firing off. At first, it was nuggets of information because I didn't know how he would take it. Because you never know. Like some people, some people will be like, "Oh, that just means this," or "That just means that," because they're
you're
like,
fucking nuts.
Because or that too. They'll be like, "Oh, I'm Christian and I believe this," and then I tell them what I experienced, and they're like, "You're fucking insane." So,
it's like, how do you deny what you consider the book?
Yeah.
Literally tells you, and at the same time, literally say you're a Christian. It literally proves you're not a true Christian because you don't even live the rules that you proclaim to believe are the rules.
Yeah.
I mean, that's literally, you've heard me, that's my biggest bitch about Christianity, the way it is now, because it's nowhere near what it actually is or supposed to be. That's where I like the church, my church.
And absolutely starting to see it all evolve.
Closer, it's a million times closer to the church than the origin of current Christianity, which started with Catholicism, which was literally the Roman Empire. Ooh, I know how to keep us as an empire. We'll just say we're the Christians and take over a whole religion to make ourselves the center of every religion.
Yeah.
And that's what they did. So the Roman Empire is not dead. It's just
Evolved.
we worship God of all gods. Not really. We're actually still worshiping our fucking Godhead. You stupid fucking mortals.
Yep. No, I was finding that ironic actually because my dad literally brought it up years ago when I was.
And you didn't even know at the time.
Yeah, I didn't know it because my dad's a massive history buff. Like he loves history. Like and we're not talking like the blue collar Republican, red blood version. We're talking
or liberal.
Yeah, or liberal version. We're talking he likes history.
Straight facts.
And
here's what happened.
And he'll be like, he'll remind me over and over, especially recently whenever I talk about it. He'll be like, remember, it's not just one side or the other. It's in the middle. Like the middle, somewhere in the middle is where the truth is. And he'll remind me all the time. He'll be like, remember, all the winners were the ones that got to write the history. So be careful of what you believe, because the winners will lie too, and over-glorify.
Some of them will. And that's what I've discussed with you, how my viewpoint is with some of the members of the church about like, well, this is what it is. It's like, do you know that? Do you know this story that's behind the story you're telling? Because, and then when I dive deep, like I've done with you, into the stories, you're like, what? Wait, what?
Yeah.
Where does it say that? I'm like, that's like the origins and in the original books of the church and what Joseph Smith always talked about. This is literally the foundation of all of it. Here's the actual facts.
Yeah.
The stuff that the Catholic Church and other churches never talked about, that's why they're not the real church.
Yeah, I learned more
and people
from
in the church, minds are blown when I dive that deep. They're like, wait, what the fuck?
I literally could have homeschooled with my dad with history class alone. Like,
the way he does it, oh yeah.
Out of every class I ever took in high school or middle school or any school, if he was the one that was the teacher for history class, I would know not just what's in the book, but I would know every little footnote outside the book and then some, and he's still learning more stuff. Like, he's still, like, being like, by the way, I learned this the other day. I just wanted to let you know that. And he's
another fact.
Yeah, he's continuously absorbing knowledge. And there was one day where he called me out of the blue to ask me something about the kids and what to get them at Ross or something or some other store. And then the blue, he's like, by the way, remember I told you forever ago about Paul and Saul and the Bible and this and that? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, it's like a kind of half-hearted yeah, of like, yes. And then my brain goes, I remember the ramble session. And then he continued onward. He's like, and then it was like TV show where they go, here's the before what happened, now let's show you the TV show. And so I got a big giant crash course session in which he went into stuff that was beforehand. And then he's like, well, by the way, so now that I've told you this is what I think is happening with this. And he was correlating current events that are happening in the world with something that
happened in the past
and that was even written in the Bible and was referring to it.
Which kind of goes into my, what the hell?
I have no idea.
Kind of goes into what I'm always talking about, how it's literally history repeats itself a million times over. It's like, we've done this before. Hello, is anybody paying attention?
Yeah, exactly. And so it's just like, that's what I found.
That's funny that your dad brought that up.
Yeah.
The back of my mind goes, that sounds like shit I always say.
Yeah, and then every time it was funny is every time I bring up stuff that him and I are talking about, oh, Dad lights up like crazy. He goes, oh yeah, this and this and this, and I can find out just how much Karnage and my dad line up on a lot of shit. Like they do, line up on a lot of shit.
Oh, you want to know something funnier about that?
I was talking about Loki shit and some of the shit in real life, not Marvel.
Joe.
Yeah?
Whenever he's talked about it, or I give him my viewpoint, or give him what I know as fact.
Yeah.
Because, like we talked last week about, you either know or you don't.
Yeah.
And I even talked to Mom about it. Told her we talked about it 2 weeks ago on the podcast, and she's like, yeah, no, I'm the same way. I know it's fact. I know these things are these things. That's fact.
Yeah.
It's like, And everybody's like, well, how? I don't know how to explain it. I just know it's fact.
Dad's actually warming up a lot to the idea that I'm not monotheistic anymore.
Nice.
He's warming up to the fact that I'm very polytheistic. In fact, I was telling him about one of the goddesses that was talking to me recently, and he's like, which goddess is that? And I'm like, Hecate. And he's like,
oh, okay, that one.
or Hecate? And I'm like, well, I only know that because as soon as I saw her name pop up in the feed, because Katrina was posting about her and then somebody else was, and then out of nowhere I heard her, like, in the background kind of do her little giggle laugh as she acknowledged that that was who it was. And I was like, you finally tell me who you are. And she was being sly about it, and I'm like,
I mean, that fits
yeah,
her mentality.
It does fit. It does fit.
It fits the description of what and who she is. Yeah.
I was talking to him about that experience and was relaying to him kind of how it was happening, and he's like, no, that would make sense. That's kind of how she was described. It's interesting that she's talking to you and shit. And I'm like, yeah, no, I get visited by all of them at certain points of the day or certain points of the week or month, whatever, ever since the whole third eye thing.
Yeah, and I thought it was funny when you first told me, and I went, uh-huh.
Yeah, and then I told him about how, like, Amber's been doing, like, different spells or whatever, and he's just like, okay, that's probably why she's communicating with you, is because of your relationship with the wife, and
how the wife,
and
realizing it or not, is tapping into that.
Yeah, it's tapping into her energy. And her pantheon and stuff, and is, and it's because of the fact that she's communicating with her, and her and I are, like, intimate related like that.
Well, I mean, you should be. You're married.
Yes.
And have 4 kids, so.
Well, not everybody is, but, like.
No,
yeah.
I understand. But for
like,
me, it's a funny.
Because we're like this and stuff, because of that, I think that Hecate and Loki are kind of, helping out and tapping each other and tag teaming.
Hey.
And they both do witchcraft.
Okay, which one should we tell them about? I'll whisper in her ear this. You tell him this.
Yeah.
And then I'll whisper this in his ear, and then whether she's realized it or not, tell her this. It's like, okay.
Yeah, no, what's funny is the other day we were talking about getting something, like the whole how we did everything today.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about getting stuff and shit, and Loki kind of tapped me and was like, by the way. And then, like, out of nowhere, she ended up getting a different version of that from Hecate, and I'm like, wait, Loki's talking to you too? And she's like, well, I was getting talked to by a female. And I'm like, oh, wait. And then I heard a, yes, boy. And I'm like, oh, shit.
my only thought is, boy, I
yeah.
love you, sis. Shut up.
Yeah, no, it was weird. And then,
they hate it when I do that. It's like bro or sis. They're like, but I'm like, I know what you are. Did you forget I used to be there too? It's like, shut up. And then they call me
child.
Yeah. I always find that funny because I laugh and go, do you not remember who I was before this mortal form? And they're like,
Loki calls me
shut up.
Acolyte.
We don't like to talk about that.
Loki calls me Acolyte. So
and it's usually not Loki that tells me to shut up. It's certain other entities that have been given the title of paganist gods, and I just go, yeah, but do y'all not remember who I was? No, we know who you are. I'm like, I remember it too, and they're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I love the new ones that pop into my head or that I hear talking to you, and I'm like, you know, I know who me and him and the other lunatics all are, right? Wait, what? I remember some of that stuff before this stupid mortal bullshit.
Yeah.
Just from the feeling of the energies, it's like, I need to be rough with you now because you need to stop being this because this is not who you truly are. Like with Cass flipping his shit this morning, it's like, dude, no.
Yeah.
You like the structure. You are this person. Don't go off the rails. Don't go there.
Yeah,
and
I
he
don't know
wouldn't
what
listen,
this morning
so
was
it's like,
about.
dude, stop.
I don't know.
And he almost had a panic attack when he came home. Where's Mom? Where's my ice cream? I was promised. I'm like, dude, stop.
Of course he would.
I'll remind your parents.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you gotta wait till they get home.
Yeah, we had to have so much time. We were talking about that. I was talking to her about that, and then she actually.
Yeah, I noticed y'all went upstairs, so I'm like, okay, just in case I hurt somebody's feelings, sorry to both of you, cover my ass.
Yeah.
And also, just in case I accidentally bit one of you. Because she was up there, like, trying to be calm, and I'm like, no, he needs the firm,
Mm-hmm.
It's the dad hand.
Yeah.
But I'm the uncle, so he's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Well, the fact of the matter is that he gets the dad hand from me quite often.
Yeah, but you weren't all the way
Yeah.
conscious, so I had to jump
Yeah.
in, and I didn't like doing that, but it's like, no, it needs to be done.
Yeah. So I that's why I grabbed him off the floor and then just took him outside so he could snap back to reality.
Yeah.
And got him calmed down. And then Amber handed him the stress candy so he could breathe.
Level out.
Yes. Because the last thing we need is for him to get on the bus and then to be like, oh, can you come pick up your kid? He's flipping out again.
Yeah.
So
because that just screws the whole day because it's her appointment day for therapy and physical therapy and all the other shit if she has anything else.
Yeah, so I that's why I grabbed him off because at first it was just her and Marimar trying to get him to get up, and he was literally laying on the floor apparently, but I was on the bed. So then I waited like a good minute or two before I was like, okay, is he gonna get up? And they keep asking him to get up, and then Amber's trying to tell him a couple things, and I'm like, fine, I'll get up. So I got up, got out of the bed, and I was like, and in my head I was like, I literally don't give a shit if I'm in my boxers or not. And so I just grabbed the child, I grabbed him, threw him over my shoulders, and then he's all like, my stomach, and I'm like, you'll live. And then as I was walking down the staircase, I'm like, you'll be fine, kid. And then I started getting him out to the front yard area, and then I literally just stood him up. I didn't do anything else. I just stood him up on his legs.
That's what I tried to do right there, and he had to flip his shit about it. I'm like, dude.
That's because I took him outside to the front yard. I took him out to the porch.
Well, I can't carry him with the knee.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm not going to carry you, but you are going to stand here and breathe. Slow down. You know, I try to go through the steps that you guys have told me works for his brain.
Yeah.
But because he wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Back to reality, kid. Come on.
Yeah.
Stop. I don't think you did that. Yeah, but see, look, you're back to reality. You're not just going bombastic and flipping your shit.
Yeah.
I pulled you partially back to reality.
Yeah.
I don't like doing it, and you don't like me doing it, so let's not push it to that point.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I picked him up, threw him over my shoulders, brought him out to the front porch, and was like, I literally told him okay, now breathe, now reset, and he's like, mommy. And the second after he said that, his mommy came out to the front door with the stress candy in hand and was handing him it, and then immediately I was like, okay, she's got this now. And so then he immediately dove away from me to her, and she started hugging him, and then she started walking him to the bus. And then I went inside and I was like, I don't need to be out here anymore. I'm in my underwear.
It's always the funny part when stuff like that happens, because I'm like, okay, Russell's going to like it because he thinks I'm being a dick like him, but my brain is, you need stern. So I'm going to be stern, and I'm going to stand my ground and stop.
Well, that's the thing, is he really probably needed it anyway.
Yeah. It's
like the tough
you're
love.
mean, because the older one is like, you're being mean. I'm like, no, you choked him. I'm like, I didn't choke him. It's like, your jacket, it's right here, right? Because it's all the way zipped up. Yeah. If I try to pull you towards me, and you try to yank yourself sideways, what are you going to do? Choke myself? Aha. So I didn't choke him. He choked himself by trying to run away from me trying to get him back to reality, so that way we can move on to the next step.
Right.
And he went, oh, so you're not being mean, you're trying to drag him back to being himself. I'm like, yes. And he goes, oh.
Was that Aryan?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Phoenix tried to talk about it. Well, you choked him. I'm like, no, I didn't. And I explained it to her. It's like, his jacket's right here. You see how it's at your throat? If he did not zipped it up all the way, took it down an inch, he'd had room to breathe, and then when I picked him up, it wouldn't have been a choke.
Yeah.
He'd have just felt like an idiot and just hurt himself.
Yeah.
Because that's literally what he was doing. He was hurting himself by trying to jump in. And when I explained it to her, she's like, oh.
There's been a couple times
because she saw him flipping his shit.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, from your point of view, you weren't hurting, you were trying to help, but he was flipping out, so he hurt himself. It's like, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
and then she went from, you were hurting my brother, to, oh, okay, I understand.
Yeah.
He was having his issue, and you were trying to help.
Yeah, no, there was a couple times about a year or two ago when we were trying to get them up for school, and
it was a battle.
On one day, because he kept tossing himself backward or to the side, And there was one day where he tried claiming that mommy choked him. And we're like, no, your mommy was not choking you, buddy. And she clearly grabbed him by the jacket, because she had a jacket on him. Grabbed him by the jacket and was trying to grab him back up, because she didn't think to grab him by the shoulder or by the back. And so he fell back.
Because she's also seen it from me.
Yeah.
It's just grab the center of mass.
Yeah. She
Okay,
tried
now that you're up.
Yeah, she tried to grab him by the front, and he literally threw himself back in a panic, because he does the whole thing where he doesn't go stiff as a board, but he just throws himself backward.
Or sideways,
Yeah, or sideways. And so she went to go grab him, and then because of that, she grabbed the jacket and immediately jerked him like this, and he was like going, ah! And we were just like, buddy, seriously, calm down. And he's just all like, you're hurting me. We're like, no, we're not.
You're hurting yourself, dude.
And then she dropped him because of the fact of the struggle, because she can't hold him like I can. So she dropped him, and he was like, you dropped me! And she's like, oh my god, sorry, baby. And I'm like going,
no, don't
Cass,
say you're sorry. It's...
Cass, you literally threw yourself backward, throwing a mommy off balance. You nearly caused her to fall on you, is really what the story was.
You're lucky she didn't knee in the chest.
You're lucky she didn't, you're lucky it was none even stupider than that. And so then, I had to pick him back up and get him calmed down and everything. And then the next day it happened to me. And I was like, what the hell, child? And so I went to go grab him, but I did it better. I kept it from completely grabbing at his throat or whatever.
Well, that was the only place I could grab him, because he literally threw himself, and Judy's the one who told me, no, he does this. He throws himself between the bed and the dog kennel.
He's
so it's
done it for years.
The only place to grab him is middle of mass.
Yeah.
And because he already has his jacket on and zipped up, middle of mass, here we go.
That's why I have learned myself, because of how many times he's thrown himself off to the side or thrown himself backward.
Well, I've never dealt with it, so my brain goes center of mass, easiest without, even if
in
he
general,
struggles
with
to,
a regular child who doesn't go into panic,
even
PTSD
with
mode.
Big adults have done it. They go into the panic mode, it's grab center of mass, so that way they don't fall, or if they've already fallen, to get them back up.
Yeah.
That's like when Connor tried to help me, and you went and you just grabbed under my arms to get me up.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have anything on. Where you grabbed center of mass because it was the gym clothes and those were loose.
I picked you up to the point where I had you up. I just needed you to put your legs underneath you and then stand yourself back up. But you weren't, so I was like,
almost
well,
there.
I'm going to hurt him.
When you did that, I'm like, okay, hang on. And I even said hang on. I remember saying hang on. And I got my foot. I'm like, okay, give me the stick. Son of a bitch.
Yeah. Yeah, because I remember hurting Amber worse when I did that to her.
Once. Yeah, you were telling me about that earlier.
Yep, because what I did was I grabbed her around the front. I grabbed her just underneath the boobs, because I knew if I grabbed her on the boobs, then it wouldn't help her at all, because her boobs are big. So therefore gravity takes hold. So I grabbed her underneath the boobs, just above the stomach, picked her up, and it ended up actually causing more pain to her chest and her sternum. But I picked her up, and then because her leg didn't take footing like it was supposed to, she fell over. And I was like,
made it worse.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, well, I need you to, use your legs, because the last time I did it with your sister, all she did was just go, and I'm like,
you're like,
no!
I'm like, Connor, let go of me. You're actually making it worse with the both of you trying to pick me up. Grab my stick, hand it to me.
Yeah, because it's not that I can't.
And then I
tried
to walk and my leg went back out. I got 2 steps, my leg went back out, and then you were saying yesterday at the gym, no, it was badass, just sitting there. You're just walking with your damn hands.
Yeah, no, it's the thing. It's so yeah, and with his muscle condition, if he doesn't use his legs to pick himself back up, even if I were to take and lift him up in the air, even like an inch or two up in the air, like I could, just lift him up in the air to where he's practically hovering. If I do that and then try to set him back down on the ground, and his leg decides to go fuck you and fall over, then more of him falls to the ground with gravity. So it would have hurt even more. So I'm like, tactically speaking, this is the best place, and he's not doing it, so I'll let him do it.
Yeah.
I was like, that. Physics is a thing. But like, I took physics in college. But like, basically with the kid, that's part of why I know that with Cass, I learned the hard way to grab him from around underneath here,
on the shoulders,
like
or underneath,
somewhere or here, because he will literally throw himself back. And because he's now heavier, he's like 50, 60 pounds now, then it's 50, 60 pounds flying back. And even if you're a strong
my
person,
whole thing was just
yeah,
where he was stuck.
yeah,
It was the only place I could grab because of the way he threw himself in between the bed and the kennel.
yeah. The tricky part is,
My
when
brain
he's
just
wearing a
went
jacket, and if
up.
you're grabbing by center of gravity, like here, it will literally throw himself back, and it'll make him think you're choking him.
Mm-hmm. But see, I got him up, and it was like, you're choking me. I let go. I grabbed him, moved him out to the hallway. Dude, stop.
Yeah,
But it's literally after I got him physically up,
yeah,
it's just move him. Move him out of the spot where he's going to throw himself and get stuck again. Okay, right here. Okay, breathe. Okay, trying to talk him down. Or he's screaming at me, so I got to yell so that way I can hear myself talk. So it's like the yelling ladder thing. It's like, dude, just in the back of my brain. Fucker, shut up.
yeah,
Not even to him, fucker, shut up. It's just, you're yelling, so my brain instantly goes to the negative language. It's like, shut up, dude.
yeah. Well, he also is. I myself, I'm accustomed to his temper tantrums
Rants.
and his rants and his ballistic screams when he gets to that point. It is hard to reason with him when he's like that. And I know
that's
that
what
myself.
Judy's dealt with the last 2 mornings, but today, me talking about the headache that was coming on last night before I went to bed, and literally, I'm like, okay, Cass, let's get back to our pattern. Come downstairs. Well, Mom said I could play in the room. I understand, but we're getting to the point where everybody downstairs sit, breathe, relax for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then he went bombastic.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really? And then I come back upstairs and it's between the kennel and the bed and there's nowhere to grab him, and then that whole situation happened. It's like, really?
Yeah.
But that also makes me think of the whole Loki thing. What are you talking about? I'm the bad guy. I'm trying to save everybody. Well, while you're trying to save everybody, you're literally being the biggest fucking asshole in the room, dude.
Yeah.
And I knew that's what I looked like, and I'm like, well, I might be the biggest asshole in the room, but I've always claimed I know I'm an asshole. Fuck it. So, throw whatever at me. Because I thought, Judy stayed upstairs because she was pissed at me or didn't want to deal with me because she saw me as, like dad. And I'm like, not trying to go there do that. So I threw the sorries just in case. Covered my ass, 1 and 2, because I didn't like what I had to do to get us to the end goal.
Right.
I don't like going there. I hate going there, but it's like, he's been so fighty the last 2 days. And my ears, dude, you're the one screaming like a banshee.
Yeah.
You're the one causing it. So stop.
Yesterday he was extremely difficult because he didn't want to go back to school because Mommy kept letting him stay home because of his ear infection.
Yeah. But she told him he had to go back to school today because this many days into the medicine, the doctor said, you should be fine.
Yeah, plus also his 2 days missed in a row, he needs to go back.
Yeah. And Mare and Calypso, Judy, told him, well, Mare went at it first, and then, the wife, mom, kid's mom, Sissy, took over, and like, yeah, you're going to get me in trouble if you don't go to school.
Yeah, because they'll yell at us, like literally.
Yeah, oh no, they like to bitch and cuss.
They yelled at us.
That's why in high school I went for half a day and then
last.
signed myself out and said, fuck off.
The year before last, they decided to grill us because I think it was last year. It was either last year or the year before last. They decided to grill us because
probably the year before last.
Because he had missed enough days that they were literally wanting us to like sign some form of plan to keep him, to keep going on his schooling for the rest of the year. And it was like 3 months left of the year. And we tried calling the principal's office so we could talk to him about it and figure out what the hell was going on he was talking about. And he never answered. Mm-hmm. And so we just kept going as normal until the year ended. But
if you're not going to talk to me, then fuck you too, buddy.
But we've done so well at keeping everything intact and keeping everything going.
This school year, oh yeah. I've literally been watching it.
Yeah, we've kept everything going so well that I'm just like, we just need to keep going. It's just a hiccup or two. And so, just continue as usual. Just keep everything moving. Keep turn it into a well-oiled machine, essentially.
Well, I mean, we've been doing good up until this week.
Yeah.
With me here, the cast, the one who's flipped his shit the last 3 days, literally has been, I like the schedule, everything's in pattern. I like having nice patterns. It's the autistic or super genius brain, why are you changing the pattern? The pattern fucking works.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I
That's why I'm like, dude, we gotta get back to schedule.
yeah.
But anyway, back to what you were saying.
I feel
Sorry.
like because we've got February. No, now it's February now. But we got February, March, April, and May left. So we got 4 months left of the school year. So
and in March, I think, is the spring break.
Yeah, spring break. So we keep things going for the rest of the school year, and we'll have a overall fairly successful school year with them.
Yeah.
I mean, the teacher was already telling us during the back to school event. She was already telling us that that we that she was super, like, she seemed super
Excited.
relieved that not only do they work on coping mechanisms at school, but I was telling her some of the stuff we do at home with them and some of the stuff that we
Trying
work
to
with
teach
them.
them good coping.
And teaching them good coping mechanisms, teaching them breathing techniques, things like that, and like just structure, things like that, and how we even talked about how you and him were working on structure and how they've been liking the fact that you've been around a bit more with the structure and everything like that. And the teacher was just like, okay, so it is kind of like being here. So being here is very similar to how you are at home. And so that actually is
It's
really
beneficial.
yeah, it's
for
beneficial
everybody,
and everything. And she was telling us about how much she's killing it in school, how much she's doing good with his grades and stuff. I have the paper in one of my jackets, but like the progress report, and I was just like, yeah, and like she was telling us
Proud
about
parent,
cool
nothing
stuff.
wrong with
Yeah,
that.
yeah, no, it was great. Like Arian's sitting there in the back, like behind the teacher, because we all sit at the little tiny table, and I sat down, I'm like, I'm getting core memory flashbacks. and the Arian is sitting behind us in the chair, just kind of with his hood up, just scowling at us, being like, I'm bored. And we're just like going, Arian, shut up. And the teacher's just like, she just starts laughing, and she's just like, so is this just like at school? Okay. And I'm like, yeah.
Your core tendencies are always your core tendencies.
Yeah, I'm like, I know that's just the way Arian's become now. And then like, but Cass was all super excited and was sitting with us and everything, and the teacher was telling us about everything. And
because he loves getting good reports. It's
Yeah.
like, at the beginning when he's like, am I being a good boy? Am I doing good things? Am I on task? It's like, yeah, dude, you're doing awesome.
yeah,
You're doing a lot better than Bubby, because Bubby's like, I want to get the fuck off. Leave me alone. Let me sleep.
but he was super receptive tonight from what I saw.
Yeah.
Nothing
Because
like
once
this
I
morning.
explained it to him in the proper way, he went from panic attack to, oh. So I just go grab my stuff, sit down, and relax. It's like, yeah, dude. He's like, okay, I can do that.
He explained that this
But-
evening.
The first 5 to 10 minutes, it was literally like, well, Mommy said she was gonna come get me from school. Da, 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 da. I'm like, well, we didn't need to waste the gas, and other stuff was going on.
Yeah,
And he's like, oh. I'm like, and there honestly wasn't enough time to come get you and get Sissy from school. And he's like, okay, that's a little bit better explanation.
yeah, because like
I
time
explained to him
crunch.
how I would think I would want to hear it.
Yeah,
The proper, the truth. Mom, there was too much going on. And to go all the way to get you and Bubby from school and then go get Sissy from school, Mom would have been late to her appointment, which would have been bad for her, which would have messed up the rest of the evening.
yeah,
And he went, oh. I mean, I said it slightly different words, but that's basically what I said.
yeah. I came in through the door tonight, being like, brace ourselves for a potential Casanova, and instead it's like, hey, Daddy, can I get my ice cream now? And I'm like, yeah, we can. Here's the ice cream, and
Because
I'm a good boy.
it's the explanation, and then he doesn't go into panic mode, and then he goes back into good pattern.
yeah,
And that's what it was. That was what the whole morning was like. Dude,
yeah.
like, fucking serious. We've been doing so good for so long. Like, what the hell, homie?
He has his off days. He has his days where he.
Well, I mean, he's a
does
kid,
that.
but my
Yeah.
brain just went, dude, you've been doing this for 2 days. You don't get 3 days. You got your 2. 3 strikes, you're out.
Yeah.
We're not doing 3 strikes, you're out. You're getting your shit together.
Yep.
I mean, that's like me. I'm down 2 wives. Okay, 3 strikes out, or third time's the charm.
yeah.
I'm looking either forward or against the next one because I'm like, well, I know what not to go with or what not to look for, so I've changed my dynamic on what I'm looking for. And actually being back as a member of the church, it's always the hard part, especially being 41. It's like, is one of these little 18 teeny boppers going to try to come snatch my 40-plus-year-old ass up? or is it going to be some other weird, like, number or some weird thing that happens? One of my cousin's little tiny 20-year-old friends is going to try to, sort of thing. I'm like, this is going to be interesting the next 10 years to see who and or what, in my opinion, try to jump and attach to the solid freaking form I am.
Yeah, I mean, you're even seeing your sister freaking go from, like, her constant talk of, like, oh, well, I didn't need you to be muscly, and I didn't, care if you were or not, or this and that, and now she's
or
just
the,
all like...
I can't. It's like, don't say that.
Yeah, now
go
she's just all like,
I can't.
Muscly.
I just have to,
yeah.
And all of us working together, it's like, literally...
Yeah.
Going to where it should be. Like I said, next thing is, no offense, this.
Yeah, no, a lot of that stuff is, like, there's, some of it is mine, and I can move it around and shit, but a lot of the stuff that's in there, it's just stuff that I just was like, you're not mine.
No, I get that.
Not mine, not originally my room.
My biggest thing is that.
This right here?
That.
Oops, sorry, YouTube. This?
Yeah.
Well, that stuff
literally...
needs to go in storage. Because that's my entertainment center that my dad handed off to me. The rest of the stuff is stuff that we can just reorganize.
Well, no. Because they didn't come in today. Because I'm like, I don't even know if the room's unlocked. Fuck it. Or I'd have been in here and this whole room would have been a way different story. Already. You'd have came in like, what the fuck? But I think tomorrow, whether you're awake or conscious, I'm either going to steal the key from Mom or tell you, open the fucking office. Okay, stay the fuck out. Bye.
Well, what I'm going to be doing is we're going to be cleaning up the carpet in the kids' room. And then I'm going to be in here trying to basically get some stuff straightened out.
Well, good. Then you and me can work in here and we'll just kick fucking ass and take naps. I mean, you saw me. I came over for one day and had the whole kitchen like super organized because I just like, no, on task, done.
Well, when we described to the physical therapist, like, the amount of space that's in our bedroom alone, that it's actually literally mine, like, she was like, yeah, no, it sounds like you need that office, because it sounds like you'd go insane without it. And the wife was like, yeah, no, I'm kind of glad he has the office, even though my dad keeps trying to rip it from him.
Well, that's just his... You're taking away something that's mine. It's not yours, dude. You don't fucking use it. Go fuck yourself. And Mom's like, it's supposed to also be my swing room. Fucking shit.
Right.
And her thing is, I understand he needs the space, but I want to get to my sewing. And she made a comment about her yarn in here. She wants to get to it so that way she can finish the baby blanket.
Yeah,
that she's supposed to be working on.
Depending how the next tomorrow or week goes, this broadcast...
I'll say 24 hours to 7 days.
This broadcast might be different. Just a little bit.
No, not different. It'll be better organized, and y'all will get a wider view of us, because I will... This stuff will be organized and there.
Well, see, the reason why I have it set up this way is to fit what was already preordained.
Yeah.
So.
No, like I said, tomorrow I'm going to be jumping in here. If you want to jump in and tag along, I'm literally going to throw you your shit. Here, get your shit out of here. Here, get your... That's going to be the first hour. And then after that, it's literally just smooth sailing like... I know it because I see it in my brain.
Yeah.
Me coming in here before you get in here and like organizing your stuff right there. So when you try to come in, yeah, you're going to have to push a little harder because your shit's in the way.
I don't know. I just know that this has been the only space I've actually had for myself in over 3 years.
Here's the thing, though. You know how I organize. You've seen me do it.
Yeah.
In the front room and the kitchen in one day. So just think of how fucking organized this place will be. You'll have more room to breathe, and it won't be as warm because there'll be extra airflow. My brain instantly goes, I know how to freaking organize and literally like Tetris it.
Yeah.
Let me have my fun. Because for me, it's fun.
Well, does
that make sense?
Hal had actually suggested like a year ago was to take and flip things around a little bit to where that desk, the desk for my work computer,
is over there.
is right here.
That would work, but I think it would be better if it was over there and Mom's sewing machine was here, so that way she could come in and do the sewing on like Thursdays or Fridays. Because if everything's, because him, the dragon,
Yeah.
being over there in the corner on the table would actually work better because we could move other stuff around. Because some of the stuff that's on top of the table, to get everything out from under the table and
Right.
reorganize it in such a way where it's, in a way, it's still in here like once.
The reason why the desk ended up here was because one, the Ethernet cable can go here, but also because this shit was already over here.
No. I understand. That's why I'm like, my brain. It's literally unplug, pull out everything, get it out of the way, or unplug
Yeah.
what needs to be instantly moved out of the way, like this stuff
Yeah.
and this, to then, okay, go through each thing, organize it, make it so pretty that, like, Mom or Russell walk in, what the fuck happened? Hello? Wait, you what? Yeah, me and Peter just went at it. I said, I see the vision, let's just, and I just went.
Well, I'm already mentally calculating what you're planning on doing and then how to execute it. Basically.
Oh, I already know how to execute it.
Because I've spent how many
I'll get,
hours
like,
in here?
I'll get at least half of it done tomorrow.
Yeah.
I might actually get all of it done, but this like won't know until we get there, sort of thing.
Right.
Because I'm gonna go full asshole, and not asshole in a mean way, like asshole like I am the positive asshole,
Right.
which everybody always calls me an asshole. I'm like, but I'm honest and I'm positive. Why am I the ass?
I think you're just restless.
There's that too. That's the ADHD kicking in. Like I need to fucking do something. All right, you know what? I've been talking about the office. I'm gonna fucking do it tomorrow. Because I didn't come into it today because I'm like, I was talking with Mom and I was doing other shit.
Yeah.
So it's like, I took the morning to get myself where I needed to be, and
Yeah.
and tomorrow I already know it's literally get up and go. There's no stop, there's no if, there's no ands. Literally get the kids to school, and then come back and, all right, motherfucker, give me the key. Or Ma, give me your key. Get done. Get and go.
Yeah,
I've already got it locked in here, dude.
Yeah, because we're going to have to... Well, I was talking to the wife about moving some of that stuff to the storage shed weeks and weeks ago, and then she broke her fucking leg. Like, some of this stuff is going to get moved to the storage shed because there's no room for it in here. We just have had to stack
But
it.
my thing is, if I can clear out this and that, then grab when everything's out of the room.
Yeah.
Because we might have to put some of it into your bedroom, sorry. But it'll be pulled right back out and organize it. Does that make sense?
There's, like, almost no room in our bedroom to do anything.
Yeah. That's
Like-
the next room.
Like, it's...
Okay. Can you save at least, I think, $400 out of this paycheck to go get a new mattress, or do we have to go through the bishop?
I have to wait until after my taxes come in to do anything with that.
Okay. Because I can already reorganize your whole bedroom to make it look a million times better. Because I've literally helped Nephi do it. I helped Nephi and Connor do it. I even helped Russell and Brenda do it once when we first moved into the house. Dude, I've reorganized every room in this house at least twice.
Well, I figured that.
So, I mean, the map in here of how to change or remove everything in this entire house to make it like 10 times smoother, I've already mapped it out. I just needed to do it.
Yeah.
And that's where my irritation, because I haven't gotten here like I wanted to last week,
Mm-hmm.
to try to like start.
Yeah.
So tomorrow I've just decided I'm gonna start. Fuck it. And Nephi's little fucking radio thing is going in the fucking trash or getting thrown at DI when we take that shit to the storage.
Yeah.
I'm done with the fucking thing sitting and taking up room in this house, and he hasn't taken it, and it's not being used. It needs to be fucking gone. And Mom made the comment about wanting the yarn so that way she can make the baby bed or blanket that has been planned out since the baby was born, and I'm like, okay, that just means I just need to do it.
Yeah.
Nothing against you, nothing against, the thing. It's just, Mom made the comment in a way where my brain says, okay, I haven't been doing it, I've been slacking on that, or I just haven't gotten to it yet.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the do. Tomorrow, that is the do. 1 for Mom, 2 for you, 3 for the podcast.
I mean, because I also...
It goes in that order.
I also was...
Mom and you were first.
You remember how I talked about getting a green screen?
Well, I mean, if we fix this room...
Well, what I'm saying is, remember I was talking about getting a green screen?
Yeah.
That's going to be one of the next steps as well. It's like a smaller item type thing.
Yeah. But, I mean, that's me and you going to Lowe's, getting the PVC to build a frame to put the green screen on. And then it's a green screen for this and for work, because this will be sitting there and it'll be the green screen behind us there. And you'll have a green screen because it'll be the double-sided, like, shades that are the same color on both sides.
Yeah.
Because it'll be the blackout, because those have the same color on both sides.
My wife was just talking about getting one on Amazon.
I mean, they got them at Walmart.
Yeah.
But whichever one's cheaper. But I think Walmart's, the faster route.
It is.
But my brain is, organize it, and that'll be next week.
Yeah. Yeah, I just get so involved with everything around me that I haven't done it myself.
I know, we've discussed it, you're like, if I have 5 minutes...
Dude, you've seen it, how the kids' room looks now, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it looks super fucking...
That's why I'm saying, if everything else is becoming organized, no offense, it's the Jordan Peterson thing. Clean your room.
Yeah.
This is your room. This is where you spend most of your time because of work and whatnot. This is the next fucking one to do.
Well, it's one of the rooms, yes. It's the office.
But no, because this is where you spend most of your day. Even though it's work, if this is organized, it'll help you here and possibly see a way to give yourself more room in your bedroom and organize it better. Because the last thing with the kids' room is literally, we need to pull off that top mattress, take off the fitted sheet because there's poop or a poop stain or whatever from Arnie. I'm sleeping in his top bunk. And then see, hey Cass, the bed's like super clean. You want to sleep up there since your brother's like afraid of heights apparently?
Actually, that would be a good idea to flip it. We could get a fitted sheet from Walmart.
Cass even made a comment about, I don't want to go there, it's so high. I think they both have an issue with heights. So it might be, I don't know if you can take that bed apart.
Yeah, because I already took the poop off and everything.
In a way to where the top bunk comes down, it's just a mattress sitting. Because with the empty spot that's on this wall right here, where there's just that like 1 or 2 little like toys or houses or whatever sitting there, is there a way to take off the top bed and put it on the floor, so that way Arian and or Cass is on the ground, so that way it's not, fuck, I'm almost touching the ceiling.
Yeah, no, you could literally take that top piece off, no problem. You would just have to rearrange. You would just have to do some finagling. But we only ever wanted to just have it as a free thing because.
But my thing is, as soon as you clean the floor, do 1 or 2, rounds. Yeah. And then we put down, because to put down the rug, the throw rug that y'all got, you might have to lift up the bunk. And with the top bed already being up there, you can't really lift that bunk all that high. Yeah. So my first thought is to take off the top bunk, then move it after you've let the room dry for like, I think it's 2 or 3 hours. Yeah. And then just reorganize it so that way 2 beds, possibly drop the one that's on bottom lower after we get all the shit out from underneath it. Of course, I don't know if everything's out from underneath it. I didn't pay close enough attention yesterday. It looked like most of it got pulled out. I think Judy did.
Are you talking about stuff that's underneath the Phoenix Code?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there was just a few pieces of trash under there that needed to be removed again.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's literally
relatively clean. I say relatively because there could be a wrapper they left under there, and I'm like, Grr.
Well, my thing is literally, it's finalized by tightening it up. But while she's doing the carpet cleaning, which will take like 20 minutes to an hour for the 2 carpet cleans, an hour in this room, dude, a million times further than you've been in the last year of being here, 1.5 years at most.
Fair.
My thing is, because if I organize the shit for you guys, the next room kitchen again to like get it all reorganized.
My biggest
Because it's
pushback
kind of
is
starting to fall back to where it was before I
help to organize it.
went apeshit nuts with mom on that room.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is, okay, now I need to go back to apeshit nuts, put it all back in order, and then front room, because we took down the playpen. I didn't do that the other day because my brain's just
Well,
like,
I
no.
talked to Amber about the fact that we could easily use that rug doctor for the kids' room, and then if we end up messing with this room, use it in here as well, and then
yeah, why not? Before
and then after that, take it down to the living room and get the living room touched up.
I actually wouldn't touch the living room because the living room might blow up that machine.
up.
But as thick as some of that stuff is just from the traffic that goes through that room, it'd be cheaper to rip up all the fucking carpet down there and replace it.
Hey, I was just thinking a way to use up the best value.
No,
for
I understand what
rented
you're
the
thinking,
rug
but my
doctor
brain
for.
goes, it might be kid's bedroom, front room, and then if we get far enough in here, then in here. If we don't, then let's just take it back to the store, drop it off, and whenever you want to rent it, because I don't think you'll use all the soap, we go back and you rent it for another day, and then, because when we're done with this one, it's just come in and done.
Yeah, I think my biggest pushback is the fact that I'm just like going, this has been my space for the longest time now.
But see, here's the thing.
Well,
If
the
this
safe
is
places.
your space,
Yeah.
and it's organized, kind of like we did with the loft. Remember when we like ran through that shit and made it super organized and it lasted a month?
Yeah.
Everything was smoother. Your brain was less stressed. You were 10 times more relaxed. That's where I'm thinking, fix, get you back to relax mode, so that way you're not, I gotta fight with everything and everyone and all shit.
Hey, I'm not doing that.
Oh shit, motherfucker. I listen to all your lunacy, and plus I see it. You don't consciously aware of it, but you fight in a way like, I want to be heard, and I want, because you have valid points. I'm not disregarding anything you say. You are on par with what needs to be done. The one thing that's holding you back, this. And I actually see it. The only thing that's holding you back from being closer to where you want to be, this clusterfuck. Because you spend more time in here than you do in any other room. And whenever shit's going down or you need a time by yourself, where do you go? Here.
Fair.
So if this is the room that is the organized room, because the other two are already there or as close to there as you can be perfect, which is where we're stepping and moving to next.
See, but that's the thing is I don't start fights. All I do is just try to
No,
communicate.
you don't. But that's the thing. You communicate your shit, which is good. That's why I'm saying if we do this, there won't need to be as much communication because it'll be easier flow because you'll be closer and more relaxed to your center.
Yeah.
Because you've gone a little bit off center from where you were, and my brain goes, it's this room. The energy says, this is the biggest bitch in the room. That one, you can handle, you don't like to, but this one is the one that irritates you more because you come in here to work and stuff, and it's like, I gotta go in that mess, but this is the only place I can get to myself, and you might not even be fully conscious, or your subconscious might not even be aware of it, but it's the stuff I'm constantly being told, I need to get up here, I need to do it. And because I've been here a month, I've been like, in a week or two. It's been 2 weeks. I just have to do it. I have to do it for you, to help me, so that way also I don't snap on the kids because there's the fuse on everybody and it's one little thing. No, now it's nothing. Fuck off. I literally organized the only thing. Alright, Russell, since you and Mom are at work today, no offense, I'm going through your room and I'm fixing it. That's the next step. After I organize this in the front room and get every room to be so stable that even if there's a little hiccup, it doesn't fuck up anything. And then it's, fuck you, Russell.
You're gonna remodel
Fix.
his bedroom?
No, not even remodel. I'm literally going to organize it to such an extent, he's going to shit his pants. He's going to come home from work and go, what the fuck happened? I fixed it. Shut up. I've done every other room. Basement was the last thing to do. Shut up. I fixed it. And then it's like, you can't bitch about anything. Just shut up and enjoy the pretty nice shit
Yeah.
Quit living in your own hell that you made for yourself. I literally gave you your own personal heaven, you military anal retentive prick.
Yeah.
Shut up. I made your house pretty, which also relieves a lot of stress on me because I ain't got to deal with everybody's bullshit emotions over little things that, whether they realize it or not, irritates the shit out of them, which bugs me, so it's irritating me. I'm gonna fucking fix it.
You're really restless.
It's not even restless. I feel all the energy where it's like people don't want to talk about it, but it needs to be done, and I've been slacking on the dishes, but I'm like, fuck it, I'll do dishes when I need to.
Yeah.
Me, I'm the thing. If I need to do dishes, I'll literally spend 2 hours in the kitchen, clean all the dishes, and go, okay, now what?
I mean, there's not too many dishes that are even down there that I saw. I mean, it could be done in 30 minutes.
I've literally, yesterday, I did a whole sink and a half worth of dishes. The only thing that's literally slowing me down is the big pan still sitting in the one sink with water in it. I literally just got to wash everything and get that thing and...
I could do it tonight after we're doing the podcast.
I don't care. I'm just saying, my brain says that's something I need to do, but the energy and the spirits are saying, this room first. I have to finish here, because Judy's basically done those 2 rooms, and her finishing that room tomorrow literally puts me on the path where I can do this room.
Well, I actually myself did the kids' room.
Well, you constantly do the kids' room. But
Yeah.
I'm saying with her jumping into it the way she did yesterday.
Yeah, well, she's the one who did our room, like, largely.
Yeah.
Which was awesome. But I've been the one that's been hammering on the kids' room.
Constantly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, because she jumped in, and I literally told Cass, get off your tablet, you need to go help your mom, since you decided to stay home for a bullshit earache, but you're not screaming and it's not hurting you right now. Go do work. Keep yourself busy.
Yeah.
I think that's where the fight was this morning, because I don't want to go to school, but I also, it was the fight of, against me, and from my point of view is, you literally made me do shit on my day off. It wasn't your day off, you were supposed to be doing shit at school.
Yeah.
And I made you do shit at home. I literally told him that. No, you're supposed to be doing shit at school, but because you had a damn hissy fit and threw yourself into a panic attack or just decided to scream all hell.
Yeah.
You need to do something. You're supposed to be learning at school. You're just sitting on your tablet. Go do shit. And he did it. And he got his extra 2 cookies like I promised him.
Yeah.
I told Ari I'd give him an extra one. He got an extra one.
Yep.
Phoenix helped, so she got an extra one. Each one depending on how much they do, and because Cass was stuck here all day, he gets one more than everybody else because he did more work.
Yeah.
Nothing against the other 2, that's just how my brain calculates it.
Yeah, if we did have the sewing kit on here instead of where it is.
Well, that's what I was saying. We need to move this to there. So first we need to do the middle of the room.
Because then it would all get flipped.
Yeah. But if it's flipped and your dragon is right next to you while you're at work.
Easier for me to tackle the dragon. Easier for me to do the job.
To pick him up and put him on your shoulder, and you can keep doing your job, and he can crawl all around you.
But then Mary would have to remember to be quiet while she's sewing.
For you up here.
Then Mary would have to be quiet while she's sewing, or it would just be considered office noises.
That's what it is. He will have to deal with the sewing machine because Mom still got stuff I gave her forever ago that hasn't been sewn because it became your office for work. And Mom says she's okay with that. She just needs to get to the sewing machine. So I'm thinking to fix it in a way so Thursdays and Fridays are her day up here day.
Yeah.
In the daytime, if she's not working, to come sew or do whatever she needs to do.
Right.
I mean, we've talked about that 1,000 times. What was the other movie we watched? Well, I just finished Fast X because it was on Prime and...
Well, we watched Percy Jackson.
I wanted to.
We watched Percy Jackson the Olympians. We haven't talked about that.
I thought it was interesting, him saying the first one to draw blood, and he used water to draw blood. I just found that as a haha, you're an idiot. You're finding him at a beach. He's literally the child of the water god.
That is literally what I
You're
was thinking.
You're a fucking retard.
No, see, that's the thing. That's the irony that was in the book. The irony that was in the book was that Ares challenges him initially
On a beach!
On a beach. So Percy, to settle the score, challenges into one-on-one combat, right?
And Ares being the arrogant asshole he is.
Yeah, the idiot he is.
Fine.
Says,
I
yeah,
can
I'll
beat
do it.
you,
I'll
fucking half god.
Yeah, basically he, being an idiot he is, decides to freaking take him on.
Idiot's over.
Oh, it is. It's slow.
It's pride.
It's like, bro.
I can beat you, you fucking halfling.
It's like, bro, like, seriously, he is the child of the sea,
next
and
to his superpowered god.
well, they spend over half the season talking about what again? That the child is a child of the big three.
Yeah,
one of the most powerful gods.
Well, that's the bitch. He's just
in
like
the
you.
perspective of the show, the TV show, he is a child of the big three. So Ares challenging him next to a damn beach where there's
next
water.
to his source of power.
Yeah, source of
it's
power.
The stupidest thing
it's
in
like,
the world.
Bro, seriously, it made more sense. The finale battle at the very end made more sense. See, that battle was fun. The beach battle was fun because you had a god battle fighting against a demigod.
Like, did I miss something? Go backwards. No, just go straight there. Okay, I didn't miss
yeah,
anything.
it's because that's how it was in the book.
Oh no, I remember. I'm just like
the real heartbreak battle.
Huh.
See, that's what I loved about the finale was that it was inverted expectation. You're thinking, oh, this is Ares, the god of war. This is going to be a giant, spectacular battle, and the person's going to get.
No, that's not what I was thinking.
You know,
I was trying to remember the book and the way it just like kind of just went.
And
Ares, and then by.
And it was a
spectacular. But the way it went by, I'm like, okay, that tracks.
Well, also the way that they're adapting the show is it's very low. It's very like non-high octane. That's why I told you. I said this is the most high octane the show has been.
Yeah.
That it's been because when I was watching the show, various parts of the show, especially when the Chimera got involved, and then when they met the mother of all monsters, then they ran.
I thought that one was fun.
And then they had Medusa. Like every single act or angle of this novel that the Lightning Thief is. When I watched the show, my brain is remembering every part of the book that I read, and I'm like going, I remember it being a lot more intense and high octane. What the fuck? And then I'm like, wait, but it's a story that's made by Disney, and it's marketed to 12-year-olds. So I have to remember that I am now the dad of the audience, and I'm remembering it also from my nostalgia, and I'm like, was it really as big as I remember it? And I'm like...
did it just seem big because I was that tiny?
Because I was I was like 19, 18, 17 years old, and being like, this is so great. And so, but honestly, like, the finale, the way it was handled, I actually liked it a lot because you had the big fun battle with Ares, and then you had the personal battle at the very end.
Well, I thought it was funny because as soon as he lifted it up and he jumps to the side, I'm like, yeah, I know what's happening.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh wait, what? And Dad's standing there, it's like, well, duh. Mom literally told you he didn't want to leave, he had to leave, he didn't have a choice.
Yep. Yeah, I know. Did you like the part where Ares picks him up and just, like a wrestling move, picks him up and then slams him on the ground? He doesn't do the spear like in wrestling.
No.
But he lifts him up and slams him.
I'm just like, that's something Ares would do. Shut up, you fucking child.
Yeah, and then of course, Percy does the whole thing that would not be allowed in a Game of Thrones show because George R. R. Martin hates children. He hates children and he hates heroes. But Percy Jackson stands up.
That's why everybody's fucking everybody, including everybody's wife.
Yeah, and then everybody that's good and decent is dying. But Percy stands up and he stands up to Ares in this super cute, adorable way and goes, I told you, I warned you, I would tell you who I am. Which is funny because it reminded me of you. But I was there watching him do that, and then realizing in my head, I'm like, not only would Karnage piss off George R. R. Martin because he's standing up to a very angry, vile god, George R. R. Martin being the angry, vile god, but also because that's how I see George R. R. Martin, is I'm like, George R. R. Martin is a brilliant writer, yes, but in terms of if we're going to talk about writers as gods, George R. R. Martin is Old Testament God. Because he hates heroes and he hates children.
And I'm just sitting there going, and?
Right. But I watched this...
I'm an all-powerful almighty God. Good point.
Yeah. You would
try me, bitch. Let's see where this goes.
You'd be the NPC that pisses off the writer, and he'd
It's
be
not
like,
even the NPC.
yeah.
I look like the NPC, but at the same time, it's like, are we gonna play this game?
right.
And what the god doesn't realize is I go, Control Alt Delete everything. Now you were saying what?
Yep.
You motherfucker! You just like to wipe out the whole universe. And you said you were God. Fix it then, bitch.
Yep. I absolutely.
I
loved,
have the arrogance. I know I do.
Yeah, I absolutely loved how Kronos in this show is treated like that cartoony phantom that's in the background before shit gets real. Because later on in the story, when shit gets real, it gets really personal for Percy. Right now, it's being treated like mythological god, my grandpa, whispering weird,
I thought that was
whispering
funny at the
creepy
end. He's
weirdo.
Right, yeah, I had a dream with Grandpa in it. Don't call him that.
Yeah, don't
Why?
call him
That's
that.
what he is.
That's what he is. And she's like, well, what did he tell you? It's like, he told me, and then he stops for a beat and he hesitates and he's like, he told me to tell mom how much I love her, and she's all like, no, he didn't. He's like, he could have. The way it was handled was
the
awesome.
way it's just like, well, you never know.
Yeah, you never know. He could have. He could have told me that. You
I
know,
love that. I'm
could have
just
been
like,
more lovey-dovey than you think. No doom and
well, what
gloom.
if he's not the all-powerful bad guy that everybody thinks he is?
Right, exactly. I
Even
also
though
love.
that's how it portrays him. Yeah, no, I love that he went there because it's the. Is he all-powerful, hateful, evil person, or he's like, you fucking assholes trying to kill me?
Yeah.
You can't kill me. I'm a guy just like you fuckers. Try me, bitch.
What I love most about this episode was that while Kronos has been the whispering voice in his ear, and has been telling Percy, I want you to stand up and show me what you're made of, type of thing.
Yeah,
Zeus.
at the end, he said, I'll stand up, bitch.
Yeah, Zeus.
To Zeus and to Kronos in the last dream.
Yeah, and then Zeus was the biggest dick of the show.
I didn't like the way that was portrayed.
That's the way he was in the book. I remember.
Well, no,
that.
I know that, but I'm like,
Zeus is a hothead.
okay, I know he's like the real him. Is
Yeah.
kind of the hothead asshole.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like the way it showed it in the show, like it does in the book. I'm just like, that's not 100% him. It looks like you're taking daddy trauma or something else in your life and like putting it into your book to deal with it psychologically instead of actually writing.
So
what
you weren't
Zeus
so
would do.
favorable of how Zeus was handled.
No. I don't think he'd have used the lightning bolt. I think he would have raised his hand to cock the kid into his next life. It's like, mother, while holding the bolt in this hand, he doesn't need to use it because he's just a demigod, and I am the god of gods. Bitch!
Yeah.
That's where my brain goes. It wouldn't be this, it'd be...
I feel like they adapted him pretty well, honestly.
No, I mean, they did it right, but my brain goes, it's this, and then it's a brother grabbing another brother's hand, not a brother grabbing the hand of
So you wanted him to be
mighty
more
weapon.
you wanted him to be more humane.
Not even humane, it's the... I don't need to use my weapon to destroy you from existence. I can just delete you
Do you know
with
why
my
I
back,
like the way they
with
showed?
my hand.
Do you know why I like the way they showed Zeus?
Huh.
On a storytelling perspective,
Of course, because that's where you go with everything.
They mirrored Kronos, a Titan, with Zeus,
I mean,
father and son.
because
One's
they're
a Titan.
the exact same asshole.
Yes.
It's just different power levels.
Yes, and also they're mirrored in how they talk too. Like Kronos is a bit more creepier, and a bit more like
well, that's
whispering
because
weird.
he's in the cloak of darkness.
Yeah.
Because he's literally
Whereas-
ripped apart and living in
Yeah,
hell of hell.
yeah. I bet when he gets to full form, he will be just like Zeus. Like he'll be commanding, and I am Zeus, and I will kill you, and you're lucky you're even breathing. And it's like, you're a
That's
dick.
why I liked what Percy said. You know, the only reason they do like you say is because they don't want to get in a fight because you're a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'll kill you all.
Uh-huh. No,
It's
I
like-
love that part. Like that whole conversation. I was like,
Before he lifted the bolt and then Percy tripped backwards.
yep.
I'm just like, tell the little prick, tell the big almighty prick, You're just a bitch. Quit acting a bitch.
Yeah, not to
No,
mention
my
like,
brain went, you're damn straight. Yes, no, I'm down.
Yep.
Say it. Tell the truth. Yeah, because that's where I see myself. It's like, oh, really?
Yep. Look at this. Karnage was inspired by a 12-year-old boy named Percy Jackson.
Actually, no. I've actually didn't see the movies
Mm-hmm.
or read the books until, like, I'd already became who I was. So I like the character for what it is because it reminds me of...
I wasn't talking about back then. I was talking about now.
It reminds me of who I am and, like...
You saw a bit of yourself.
Sounds like something
You
I
saw
would do.
a bit of yourself in Percy. That's awesome.
I guess. I mean,
You can be whatever age and see yourself in a 12-year-old boy. It's the 12-year-old Tim, or Karnage, from back then, being like, oh shit, that's exactly how I would be. I would be mouthing off at Zeus and telling him how it is. Which is what Percy did. Like,
yeah.
Like I'm watching this and being like, Harry would never do this. Like, Harry would never have, like, told off any of the adults. Like, he would have been like, bro. Whereas Percy's just like, bro, I will pulverize you and then die trying.
It's like, do you know who I am, bitch?
Right.
It's the arrogance / I know how powerful I can be. Do we really want to go there?
Yeah. Not to mention the fact that, like, when Poseidon actually does show up and actually does help his son with his brother, he's just all like, he's like, cause
I give you the win. Shut up, you
yeah, I
big
give
baby.
you the win. Shut up, stop whining. And then, like, when Zeus disappeared, he starts talking to Percy. Percy's just all like, well, what about Ares? And he's like, Ares is a moron. Surely you noticed. And I'm just like going, again, I found myself doing this a lot.
But of course, that's what you learn to do.
Hey.
Me, I'm just like,
Yep.
snicker and sneer and like, yeah.
Hey,
right?
it was fun to watch.
Oh no, I had fun. You came upstairs with the wife, and I'm just sitting there before we run off because Mom had came in the room and I'm literally finishing Fast X,
Mm-hmm.
and then I go straight to Percy.
Yeah.
And I gotta watch the last episode before the podcast because I said we were gonna talk about it, so we're gonna talk about it.
Yeah. No, I honestly, I feel like, one of the things that really gets me fired up about the series so far? How many times do we watch a series, and I know this is Rick's point, how many times do we watch a series, and there is a character who actually acts heroic, who actually does heroic things, who does act like a mythical hero would?
Well, it's the way my brain goes to. What is it the story of? Every story has an origin or has a story it's copying from the past.
Right. He even calls
Which
him
of them
Perseus.
copy Arthur and the Sword and the Stone?
He even calls him Perseus. Like, in the climax. He doesn't call him Percy, he says Perseus.
Yep. And King Arthur is Harry Potter, Luke Skywalker, a little bit of Anakin.
Yes.
From when they finally did the first 3.
Yep.
And like 30 to 100 other stories I've heard.
Yeah.
And look at the whole Adam and Eve. It wasn't their story. It was their children's story. Cain and Abel.
Yeah. No, I feel like with this series, there's been a lot of series out there that don't
What's the guy's name?
that have like they're characters, they're decent characters, but they just don't have that flair to them that this character does.
The closest thing I can think to the flair would be it's the Indian myth. The guy who was old enough to be around when the flood happened, but yet he wasn't there when the flood happened. He knew of the flood, but he wasn't as old enough to be around when the flood happened. Like he's a son or grandson of Noah.
Yeah.
Or grandson or great-grandson of Noah.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like, I think it's the Indian, that region in India, or India, right? Whatever, that part of Asia.
Yep.
He's the mythos of being the greatest king of them all and literally having wives and I get to sleep with your wife before you do, the whole mafia sort of thing.
Do you remember,
and I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but it's like he was literally a giant or a Nephilim that survived, or the descendant of a Nephilim because he was the tallest man in the village, tallest man in the region.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name, which irritates me, but it's he's the hero, but at the same time he's the bad guy, so the gods create a hero to fight him.
My brain's trying to remember the name too. But at the same time, I think... what did you think of the Luke twist?
Which...
where they made Luke a mirrored image of Percy.
In what way? That I hate the gods?
Yes.
Well, okay.
The way he
From
handled
my
his
point of
thing
view,
versus the way
it's-
Percy did.
Yes and no. They're very similar in the books and in how they're shown in the show. It's literally the same character who took two different paths, or took a different path because of the way the interaction with the father went.
Yes, that's the point. That's the
literally
mirror.
the father said, "Fuck you, I don't want you around," or "Yes, you're one of my children, but I am not going to be around," versus the father that I want to be around, but I can't.
You realize that that's actually the exact way you said that is the way Rick Riordan positioned it to the producers of the movies.
Oh, I know.
And they went against it completely.
Well, yeah, because they don't like that sort of shit.
Right. Rick actually positioned like his pitch for the paradigm between Percy and Luke to being like that exact thing, where they have same type of father situation, only flipped.
The only
with
difference
the
is
way they
one
react.
doesn't want to be the dad, and the other one wants to be but can't be.
Yes, and they even had it to where half of the series, when Percy's on his way to finish the quest with Annabeth and Grover, that Percy gets to talk to Luke's dad, Hermes, and then
Like he does in the
Hermes
show.
and Hermes was advised by Percy's dad, and there's like a foiled mirrored image there between both parties on both sides.
It's the you can't be their father, but you can tell them that you still love them. But he took it in the way, well, since I can't be their father, then fucking I'm just not going to show them any attention. Yes, I'm your father, I'll admit it. Here you go, here's your special gift, you fucking half-breed, my son. Alright, now go the fuck away, I got shit to do.
Right, that's how Hermes reacted to it. Whereas
That's what he took
yeah.
from the advice from the older, wiser god, Poseidon.
Yes, which Poseidon was just like, that's not what I meant at all, but okay.
Yeah, it's the... You completely misunderstood me, you fucking idiot. God, my younger, stupider sibling or stupider nephew.
I can't wait till seasons 2 or 3 when they uncover more of that whole dynamic with Hermes, especially with the fact that Hermes is literally the father of the kid who is going to cause the near downfall of the Olympians.
The attempt of the...
Yeah. Yes, that is the attempt of the downfall of the Olympians will be due to Hermes. Because that whole conversation that they alluded to with Annabeth and Percy, and how Annabeth was like, I was there when you guys argued, I was there when the fight happened. That fight is a massive catalyst for why this story exists in the first place.
Oh, yeah.
And why Luke did what he did.
Yeah. But it's the thing, the messenger, the one who's flying everywhere and can be everywhere instantly with his boots, and that's like his special gift. Could spend as much time with this kid and still do everything all at once. But yet decides, fuck it, I just.
That's why I love how what they did with Taxi. When Percy was trying to learn how to drive as the 12-year-old, and the whole time he's just fucking that taxi up.
Oh yeah, no, that whole scene was just like, this is hilarious.
I was dying when I watched the first one. I was like, oh god, it's worse than me with my attempts.
My first thought is, well, he's 12, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
That was my only thought. He's 12, that explains everything.
Yep.
Next.
Yeah. I was like, and what's funny is when I was reading the books themselves, I was like, the whole time I got from books 2, 3, and 4, the whole time I'm like, Hermes, you're the god of travel. Why are you finding it so hard to be a daddy-o? Like, you could easily find time for your kid. You're literally the god of communication.
That also kind of goes into the sort of mythos, or
it's
like
the irony.
No. I'm just saying, not mythos as in the myth of the god, or it's the, I have to work my job. I'm never going to be around because I'm working my job, so that way you don't have to worry about food or house above your head. I'm going to leave you with your mom because I have to work so many hours and so much, like with dad and mom's dynamic.
Yeah.
I understood while it worked. I understand I have to show him respect because without him I wouldn't be here, and I wouldn't have gotten as far as I've gotten in my life, good and or bad, because I wouldn't have grown up with food and other stuff, or I would have, it just would have been a different situation, 10 times better or a million times worse.
Yeah.
And I've seen, when we talk about realities, I've seen the bad side, what it looks like.
Yeah.
I've also seen the good side where he realized he was fucking up and jumped when he should have jumped.
Yeah.
Which is the hindrance with the current iteration I have, because he fell, broke his head, and couldn't see the positive outcome because all he sees is the negative outcome because he can't control the little voices outside of him that whisper evil and bad things to him.
Yeah, which is what I've been trying to get your sister to break out of.
She's doing a lot better.
Yeah.
I mean, I try constantly. Have I had a few moments here in the last, I'll say 2 weeks straight?
Yeah.
I've had like 2 or 3 moments where I've gone there.
Yeah.
Did I want to? No. Was I the wrong button pushed at the right time? Yes. And one of them was by the idiot because he made a statement. I asked a question, but he just wanted to do improper English by going, ask a question, comma,
this week and the last week,
bitch at you about what the fuck you should do. It's like, shut up, you never did none of that shit.
I would say this week and last week she has done.
Oh, she's jumped
a lot more.
And bounds.
Yeah, she's done a lot better this week.
Because I've tried not to go at her with the argument. I've tried to go at her with an explanation of. And she's like, you called me stupid. No, what I said was, the stupid part of what you were saying is it wasn't your thought. You're just being the speakeasy like all the people you see on the internet because all they're doing is screaming everybody else's point of view when actually that's nobody's point of view.
She's being an echo.
Yeah.
Of other voices.
And when I explained that to her, I think it was like mid last week, because we all three were talking, that I wasn't trying to call you stupid. What I was saying was stupid was you were literally just being well, this is what I heard, blah, 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 but I didn't do any research, I don't know any facts, but this is the shit I keep hearing everybody say.
Yeah.
It's like she got pissed with the Grammys thing. I'm like, this part? No, I haven't heard anything about that. It's like, that's all that's on my page.
Yeah.
It's like literally everybody bitching that the feminists or the crazy fucking leftists are screaming that Barbie, even though it was nominated for everything.
Yeah.
The two Grammys it got was for the guy actor, but the movie got recognition. Hello, we're bitching because the penis in the entire movie is the one who was good enough in a all-female cast to actually have a pair of balls and play the role properly? Like what Ken is always portrayed as? It's like...
You're talking about Barbie movie?
Yeah. I mean, the actor, I like the actor. I like the guy. He's a good guy. I mean, he's also a brainwashed piece of shit after all the years in Hollywood as he is.
Oh, you're talking about the actor who plays Ken, right?
Yeah.
Adam or whatever his name is?
I don't remember. I mean, I know him from other movies he's done. I like his acting. He's a good actor.
Yeah, I've seen him.
So, him getting the Grammy, that surprised me. Him being surprised he got the Grammy for the song, the Ken song that he did, that just made me laugh because it's like, wait, I got the... Dude, that wasn't even my song.
Ryan Gosling.
Yeah. He is an awesome actor. I like him also because he did the Notebook.
Ryan Gosling is actually a really awesome.
He
actor.
did the Notebook.
He did?
Yeah, he was the guy who got with the chick whose dad was rich,
Yeah, he
and
did
because
do
he
the
was
Notebook.
poor trash, her dad literally threw him under the bus, and she ran away and got a guy who was rich, and then he's like, you know what, we always do this. I tell you you're being a bitch when you're being a bitch, you tell me that I'm being an asshole when I'm an asshole, but guess what, I am an asshole and you are a fucking bitch.
La La Land, Drive, Blade
Notebook.
Runner 2049. Well, The Notebook was in 2004. I'm just naming off some of the other movies he's been in.
He's been in a lot of movies. I like a lot of the shit he's done.
He also was in The Big Short.
Yep.
That movie I've talked about ages ago about the economy, where the economy exists on a bubble.
He is just a great actor.
Yeah, no, he really
I like
is.
a lot of the crap he's done.
Yeah, the guy is pretty gifted at his ability to act.
That
and
is
shit.
forte.
His forte, yeah.
But that's why when he was surprised about the song, that's where I left. And she's like, well, this misogynist joke. And I'm like, all right, play it. Okay. What, you think that's funny? It's a joke. It's supposed to be funny. It's not supposed to be serious.
That shit got all mad.
Yeah, because I'm like, it's not misogyny. He's making fun of a plastic doll being turned into a movie. And he even talks about how the actress that played the doll was hot as shit.
Yep.
And made fun of her size compared to what the size of a real size Barbie is supposed to be, on how big her boobs are and how tall she's supposed to be, how they picked that actress who's nothing like what the actual measurements of the Barbie's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And that's what he found funny.
I don't have a solid opinion on Barbie purely because I haven't seen it yet. But I'm sure that when I do, I'll either see the reason for the Emmy or the Academy Award, or I will literally sit there with a question mark over my head and go,
The fuck?
what was the point?
Well, for me,
it was a movie made by a toy
just
company.
enjoy people talking about it.
It's kind of
Because
like,
I find it funny that the arguments
yeah.
from the left or the right or the feminist
I
versus
find it so funny that this argument
conservatives
was never made about Transformers, but yet it's made over Barbie.
Well,
and yet Toy Story is the most wholesome of the toy movies.
Is it though?
It is. Like,
Because
there's parts of it that are nightmarish, like the
no,
Sid's
no.
part, and then
the
alien
Bo
part is pretty
Peep
interesting.
and Woody's name is properly named because she literally like, yes, Woody.
Yeah.
Later, when the kid's asleep, sort of thing. Like it's a parent.
Well, it's
Fuck you when the kid goes to bed.
I would
Or,
say
you better fuck me, Woody, because your name literally means ha ha ha.
well, at least it isn't sexualizing one actress like Megan Fox.
You can't sexualize any actress or any male actor.
Yes.
Because, I'm sorry, that's the only reason you got the freaking... Other than you might be a good actor or actress, some of them are not good actors or actresses.
Hey,
They're
look at
good
this
people.
way.
It's literally, you're hot enough to play the role so everybody can drool and jerk off to you. Shut up, enjoy your money,
Well,
bitch.
look at it this way: Transformers 1 and 2, Megan Fox was insanely hot, and it was a toy
But
movie.
she was kind of a bitch.
It was a toy
Or she
cartoon movie.
became overly ego-inflated bitch.
I don't mean cartoon in the sense that it was animated. I mean cartoon in the sense that it was like largely special effects that created the movie's existence.
Cartoon-ish.
Yeah, that's kind of what I mean. But but like it's still a toy movie and stuff, which is why I'm finding it interesting and weird.
No. If we want to talk about toy movies, we gotta go to Pornhub and all this stuff about butt plugs and those are the real toy movies. No.
Yeah, it's just why I'm finding it funny that like everyone's getting bent out of shape
What?
over a movie about a doll versus like I don't know, Oppenheimer, which is about nuclear warfare.
Oh no, I've heard people say that the leftists or the liberals or and even some conservatives are like, why the fuck would you make a movie about that? It's history. Why wouldn't we make a movie about that? Is where my brain goes.
Yeah, well, it's
And it's
it would have made more sense.
What I think is funny about that movie, about it being about nuclear war and stuff, it's like literally did they teach you that shit in school, kids? No, thank God I went to the movie because now I know some history. Because the shit they teach them in school now is, one, the system's fault. Two, it's the teacher's fault because they're not teaching the kids what they learned in school. Which means when I bring up stuff like,
isn't that cool when you go to the movie and learn some shit?
Johnny Appleseed?
Yeah.
My kid goes, who, what, when, what the fuck?
I remember when he did that about a few different parts of history, and I sat there like this. I was like,
a month or a few months back.
Fuck?
He's like, what are y'all talking about? I'm like, American history.
Yeah, I know.
And
a couple times where we mentioned different
never
events.
Taught us that. I'm like, dude, we got taught that in this grade and this grade. And you're like, yeah.
Some of them got taught multiple times because they'd be like, you'd get to first grade and second grade. Those two grades, not so much. But later, as you got to like fifth grade and sixth grade, and then seventh and eighth, it's like they reteach you some of the shit.
In fifth grade, they went over both the things that you got taught in third and fourth grade about history or the mythos between the guy.
I swear, I was relearning the same shit every year, or at least in different angles.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, it's to the point where...
Until you get to middle school, then it's like, alright, we're going to teach you real shit.
Yeah, and then Connor's just like, well, they didn't teach us that. And I'm like, how?
That's like the history of this country, like, really?
Yeah, it's like, how did you not learn that? Like, that's like, that was required when I was in high school, or middle school.
My whole thing is, it's because the idiots in charge of the school, and no offense to leftists and liberals, it's the ones who scream and yell, well, everything's racist or whitewashed. It's like, I'm sorry, do you pay attention to history? Everything's whitewashed. Hello? Even the shit you're literally bitching about has been whitewashed. And not the whitewashed as in it's all the white people who win. It's literally whitewashed in the, here's why you should bitch and scream about it.
I wonder what the textbooks of today's history say in all the grades.
Not a fucking enough.
Have you read them?
I've seen them enough and looked through them and to go, God, they don't teach anybody anything.
Because I haven't seen them. I haven't seen the updates.
You saw me with my son before I got told to go fuck myself. I tried to teach him common sense shit.
27. So about 16 years.
For you.
15, 16 years for me since the last time I saw a history textbook. But it's like I've not college related or anything like that. It's high school.
Well, if you really want to know what they are, good. DI or like, what's the other freaking, donation
I'm genuinely curious
about
what these... Oh, shit. I'm generally curious about what these textbooks say for.
It's not even textbooks. If you want to know history, you gotta go do stuff like Magic Tree House.
Well, the reason why I
say
that in the first place is because
some of the stuff they go over in the Magic Tree House too. They didn't
also
even freaking
rewrite and update.
Didn't teach me in school. I'm like, the fuck.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they've updated it now. I'm pretty sure that like they've included the last fucking like what. I graduated in 09.
50 years.
So,
except for your all they see is your nose.
I graduated in 09, so I'm pretty sure that the last fucking, 15 years they've probably updated a bunch on what's in there.
Well, it's not even updated. They've decided, okay, we need to teach kids more about this, this, and this. Like slavery and this, and this, but yet, I always think it's funny that they don't teach people there were also black slave owners. Can we not just say white people are evil? White people aren't the only people who own slaves. Blacks have owned white slaves in other countries also. Why don't we talk about the truth about,
That was something my history teacher said.
Yeah, but see, they don't teach that sort of shit nowadays because that would go against the all whites are evil.
Yeah, like in quite a few of the different history classes that I was in, they would bring that up about how they were black slave owners and that
I got it brought up. It got brought up because I was in Virginia and Oklahoma, southern states, technically.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, no, you learn the shit in the southern states. You don't learn in some of the Yankee states. They don't. Because I've heard from people that are around my age.
It's funny, speaking of liberalism.
I've never heard of it or...
One of my favorite people to listen to about movies, Mark Bernardin, Kevin Smith's buddy.
Yeah.
He happens to be black, and he's a writer and a comic book writer. And he also is very liberal, and also talks about racial systemic racism. You know what he said? He said a lot of liberal media doesn't want to acknowledge the fact that there have been black slave owners. He goes into the middle ground
Yeah.
aspect of history.
But see, there's the thing.
It's
It's
interesting as
the
fuck.
extreme, and I have nothing wrong with liberalism
Yeah.
and what it says and what it's supposed to stand for. What I have is literally the liberals are now what they bitch and cuss about the conservatives always being.
Yeah.
It's the, well, it's not this unless we say it is when the conservatives are in charge. And it's like, you're fucking acting like the people you bitch about. Literally, accept everybody, no matter what, because we're all human and we love each other. Y'all don't do that. Well, you disagree with me, so you're Satan and evil incarnate. You're literally acting like the people you were bitching and saying we don't want to ever act like that, we don't want to be that. Fucking 10 to 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Now you're literally acting like the people you tried to villainize.
Did you,
So, shut the fuck up.
you know the irony about the Mark Bernard thing?
Which part?
I was listening to a couple different episodes recently of Fat Man Beyond, and back when it was
One of them popped up
back
here
when-
recently in my shit.
yeah, back when Fat Man on Batman was happening, and it was just Kevin literally just interviewing different writers or different people in the industry.
Uh-huh.
Mark became a freaking one because he was just like, I got nothing else better to do, and I'm an editor on the newspaper in New York and shit like that. And so they spent quite a few episodes talking and shit. And it wasn't until after Kevin got him to do the podcast at the cantina in L.A.
Yeah, I saw that one.
and stuff, and it wasn't until after they went in live in person and did the live events and shit and sold tickets to it and everything. It wasn't until then that a lot of the crowd members were like, wait a minute, Mark's black? And he's like, been black all my life, thank you very much. He's like, I didn't know he was black. He's like, I hope that doesn't affect anything. I hope you don't hate me now. And they're just like going, oh, you're amazing. And he's like, oh my god, thank you very much. My skin color did not kill me. I'm just like going, oh fuck.
But see, that's where a lot of people go because they've been told by their grandparents or their great-grandparents that whites are evil because of this, and this. It's like, whites are bad because you experienced it or because you got told stories by your parents and shit. Like,
Right.
Let's get the specifics down.
Yeah.
Like, what did you see, and what are you just literally just repeating that you were told, but yet not everybody everywhere experienced. It was only specific for certain people in certain neighborhoods in certain,
Yeah.
because in some places, I know from living in the ghetto in Virginia in the 80s, it's like, nah, dude, it's like literally the black guy down the street. It's just another homie.
Yeah.
Except for when I was the only white kid in an all-black apartment complex, I was the kid that was picked on. It's like you can't claim whitewash when I'm the only white fucker there. And I was the only white asshole in an all-black neighborhood, in an all-black school too. And here's the funny part. No offense, this literally proves some bullshit about, well, no, we're just going to give the black person the scholarship because they're black. It's literally, I was in a black neighborhood, and then when I went to the white neighborhood, oh, we're going to make you repeat first grade.
I know quite a few people who, are racially black, and they would feel like they are being treated like tokens if they're just given a scholarship because of their race. Because that's like us getting a scholarship just because we're white. It
I
just
wish,
wouldn't make
motherfucker.
sense. I don't, because I want to know that I'm actually smart. I don't.
No.
want
I wish
dumb.
something like that would happen to me because I'd be like, oh, thanks. Fuck you. I mean, you know me. If
Yeah.
I didn't earn it, why do I get it? Because you're white and have a small dick. Where's the shotgun? These motherfuckers talking shit. I'm gonna take care of this right now.
Yeah, because I feel like they'd be calling me dumb, or I feel like I'd be getting a participation trophy for existing.
Yeah, and it's like, well, we need the diversity hired. We're gonna hire tits and niggers.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, what if he's white? Only if he's a fag and takes it in the ass. It's like,
Which is like all sorts of discrimination.
I'm like,
All across the
isn't
board.
that like against the rule of hiring, you motherfuckers?
Right.
That's
supposed
like
to be
the
like
biggest. You're literally breaking the biggest rule, so that way we get better points with the assholes who are in charge and give people points for hiring and what type of
equal
company you are.
opportunity. Equal opportunity.
That's a
Yeah.
fucking lie in every fucking way.
Which would be nice if it was
Because I
true.
mean, if it's equal opportunity, then why can't I get after I do 4 to plus years of college and go into my field, because I've literally heard this bitch from a million different places. It's literally, I can't get hired without experience, but yet I did 4 plus years in college, but yet they just taught me what was in the book and never gave me any real experience. So I spent $150,000 to $500,000 in college for no fucking reason.
Right. Well, see, that's the thing is, it's like, what does your degree
But yeah, you're
do
gonna
for
hire
you?
the black guy because it's the diverse hire, even though he has no experience like I do. Excuse me, mother truckers?
This is part of why I valued my employment with Verizon so much, right?
Yeah.
I worked with the company. I was putting in time with the company. You know, I was making money. I was,
And
doing
they
my
helped
job,
you do college.
doing job and stuff. And their breakdown was, they said, you are getting this much per year. This is your annual salary. And I'm like, I'm not salaried now? And they're like, no, technically it's not a salary, but it's the amount that you're getting per year. This is part of the rewards thing. And I'm like, okay. And then they told me, they're like, part of the rewards is you get this much, and that's for tuition. And I'm like, wait, tuition reimbursement? And they're like, no, you don't pay it back unless you fail the class or, actually reap a consequence. Like, you fuck up. And so...
Unless you're a complete screw up. Yeah.
Yeah, like, you have to, like, literally, like, really be bad at this in order for us to make you pay for it. Because then you'll have to pay us back for what we paid. And so, basically what they were doing was they were
if we
having...
waste our money, you gotta pay me back.
Yeah, they're like, we're investing in you to become better at your job and become better overall so that this helps you with your future.
Yeah.
And so I felt good about that because I felt like it wasn't just being handed something.
Right?
I felt like I had to try. And I made
earned
me
my
want.
raise, or
Yeah.
I earned my college degree.
Exactly. I felt so fucking good about it. And then
Yeah,
whenever
you
I got,
always talked about it.
and when I got my Dean's List certificate and I got all these other things, like everybody else around, like I had people who were rooting me on and cheering me on and stuff. There was a select few who were just like, they're like, why is he talking about it? And I'm just like going, because I worked hard for it. Like I literally stayed up all night to get that freaking.
Yeah, you bounced it off me, and I'm like, you did what?
Yeah, and like.
Okay, what else did you get?
Yeah, and
I want to know all details so that way I can give you the proper praise.
Yeah, and I was just like going, this is going to be something I want to put on my resume because of the fact that, if someone just hands you a scholarship and says, oh, it's because of your skin color, not only does that feel like a discrimination in itself, but it also feels like they don't value you as a person.
Well, that also proves that you haven't worked hard enough to actually get
because then how do you know that you actually have value?
You just get the free run because of whatever color and or political blah blah blah.
Because then how do you measure the value when it comes to how a company grows? Because then you don't know for a fact that you're going to help a company perform.
No offense to females, this isn't sexist for you freaking lunatics who want to claim this. It's literally...
If I talk about discrimination, you go there.
No, I'm going to go there. Because it's literally women wanting to be in the special forces but don't have the physical wherewithal or strength to do it, so they have to lower the standards to be basically a spy.
Yeah.
That everybody knows about because you're in special forces, or because you got special forces. Shh, don't tell nobody. We're gonna go send you in to assassinate this terrorist or this person who's trying to literally kill everybody in America. But yet, the funny part is, they have to lower their standards so far, and it's not for all women, but it's for some women, so that way enough women who have applied or tried actually get in, so they don't look like they're being discriminatory, but they lower the standards so hard, any Joe Blow off the fucking street could fucking do it.
Are you saying that, like...
I'm talking about certain special forces in certain parts of the military have lowered the standards so low, it's no longer special forces, it's just like, here's your participation trophy, you piece of shit. You didn't actually have to try.
Doesn't that mean that they'd be bound to fodder, though, if they're terrible? Let's say you have an entire platoon of 100 women that are unfortunately not valued enough
to this
for their...
crap with some of the podcasts.
Like, you're not valued enough as a person to be actually based on your own merit and ability.
You're not valuable enough as a person. It's you're not strong enough.
Right.
Because we've been doing this for 100 years, and the strongest of the strongest get in.
Yeah.
We have to lower the standards because now women are like, you're discriminating against women because it's too hard for us to do it. Then clearly you're not strong enough or good enough to be in special forces. Don't bitch. it's literally a test to prove that you are the strongest and the best to be special forces, to go do the assignments that nobody should know about until the assignment's over. Like killing freaking Obama.
Well, that's
I mean,
right.
not Obama.
Killing Obama?
No.
Yeah, special forces hired to kill the boss.
No, asshole. The terrorist douchebag.
Osama bin Laden.
See, there was a beef. Fuck off. Plus, no offense. Obama, you're not an American. Go fuck yourself. That's not an American name. What's your real name you were given? Not the fake name I picked, so that way I look better to the black community, because that shit was going on at the time.
Barack Obama is his middle name. It's just his middle name is Hussein. It's Barack Hussein Obama.
If that doesn't tell you a story, we'll go over that later. And that proves he's a fucking racist.
It's just a bloodline thing.
No, that just proves he's a racist.
I don't see how, but okay.
That's like the little clip, the meme that's been going around. Well, you like Biden.
It's like
because the lady's literally screaming at the person who said, "I'm gonna vote for Trump." Well, that means you're racist. Well, you're voting for Biden, yeah? Okay, you fucking pedophile.
Do you know how many people that are in Middle Eastern all have the same fucking name?
Actually, I think that's funny because you can't make up a new name because it's like
I'm not being racist about it either.
No, I think it's funny because it's like
I work for AAA.
How far back does that name go in your family? Oh, I'm like the 30th person with that name. It's like, can nobody think of a new name, or we're just gonna use the same 50 names, thousands?
Of the population that I have interacted with on a member basis, and they are some of the nicest people, by the way.
Yes, they are, aren't they?
They are some of the most nicest, honest, honorable people. And,
right.
And when I sit there, that's why the whole thing about Obama.
That's why I laughed and was joking about it. I wasn't serious. Don't get all up in your panties. I got a pill, so you talk to him about the craziness.
Basically, the average rate of running into somebody who is of Middle Eastern bloodline and having the same type of name is exceedingly high. It's like having John Smith or John Wayne or Sarah something or Anderson. I'm part of the Anderson clan. Very much your genealogy will help influence how your name is, usually. So when people are like, oh, Barack Hussein Obama, it's like, yeah, his middle name is Hussein, so we're gonna now automatically associate him with a negative part of country politics. Great! Like, that, that it's just the idea of it is just fucking stereotype. But basically, a lot of our country's politics has been washed in stereotypes, projection, victim blaming, and just unnecessary toxicity. But that's why, it's funny because now, after I spent so many years falling into the trap that was in place, when I was younger, which is why it's so very important for younger people to be better informed, because I was one of them. I mean, I still am, but I'm not in my early 20s anymore. I'm also not 18. But basically, if you're someone who's in your late teens, early 20s, mid-20s even, it is extremely important to... They used to say, be informed, right? There's a big difference between being informed on the negative way and being informed in a positive way. I would say watch what you're listening to and watch what you're seeing. Because you have to be careful about what source it is and where it's coming from. But that's why when I hear people talk about how Hussein is his middle name, and it's like, oh, that must mean he's a terrorist, and it's like, no, that's a stereotype.
Well, that's why I said it with the giant shit-eating grin, because that was joking. Obviously.
But basically, with the company I work for, in California especially, and especially Northern California, not so much Southern California, but Northern California, something I talked about with my Sweden buddy, who said that it's very much similar in Sweden. But there's been so much immigration with people that are either refugees or people who are born here and their parents were refugees, that
Or their
they
parents just came over the regular way too.
Yeah, or they are people who immigrated here either way, and their bloodline happens to be from the Middle East. And so their names are very freaking similar. It's like having John Wayne or John Smith, or, you know,
Joseph Smith and
or
Tim
whatever.
and Thomas and
or
Peter
Mary,
and
or
certain
Mary.
names are just like everywhere, no matter where you go in the U.S.
Yeah, and so it's the same thing over there. Like, they have
No,
a lot of the same
but
names.
That's why I was laughing, because my brain just said, yeah, talk shit about this guy. It's like, no, that's not the right
It's
guy.
also keeping, you know, the audience
engaged.
Yeah, it's also keeping the audience informed on the perspective we're talking about. Because people are going to have their own, like, automatic labeling and automatic stereotype of what we're talking about. They're gonna be like, they're gonna hear you saying stuff, they're gonna hear me say stuff, they're gonna be like, oh, he's gotta think this way, and it's like, that's an assumption.
Well, I mean, that's like some of the stuff
evidence.
people hear me say. You're like, he's not anti-trans. My sibling
I had
is
to spend
trans,
quite a bit talking about that on one of the weeks, because, oh my god, whenever I have certain people in my life hearing him talk about stuff, they're like, is he anti-trans? And I'm like, no.
I'm like the most not anti-trans. I'm the most love everybody. I don't give a shit about your bullshit.
Out of your family especially, holy shit. Like,
dude, but see, for me, the funny part is that's what you think, that's your thing, that's fine. But my big bitch is the guys pretending and acting asses, which is usually my, big, hello, can we, like, quit with the stupidities here?
What I'm saying is, out of
that's
your
usually
family
my bitch, but it's
that
usually,
I've run into,
it seems like I'm anti, even though I'm not.
Outside of Chuck, and probably Liz, you, Robin, Liz,
because Robin's always been around.
who's now Todd. Out of all you guys,
who they are, yeah.
Yeah, out of everybody else, you guys are probably some of the most open-minded.
I mean,
you're also more newer generation.
Well, with Aunt Liz,
yeah,
me and her, she always called me dude.
Yeah.
No offense to the rest of my family on either side. Aunt Liz, she's like the one I'm closest to.
She's also the exact opposite of her dad, her brother. When I met her in person, I was like, holy shit, you guys look similar, but you guys are not similar.
Oh no. They're like fucking
polar opposites.
Leagues upon leagues in the opposite direction on a lot of shit.
Yeah, I noticed that.
He's like, fucking playing games? I'm like, yeah, just like Aunt Liz. Yeah, shut up, motherfucker. You want me to call your sister? Or your mom when Nanny was around.
Yeah.
Shut up, leave me alone, need to run off.
Uh-huh.
Or, you wouldn't dare. And they keep talking this shit. Okay, wait for him to leave. Okay. Yeah, Nanny. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh, yeah, no. Text Aunt Liz.
See, that's the funny part is if, like, my dad
she's
did
like,
that, for instance.
Dude, really? Why are you being a fucking dick?
If, like, the dynamic was similar with my family, for instance, and, like, I could literally call my grandmother like that and then have her talk to my dad like that, like, if the similarities were there.
Dude, like, you're being a fucking douchebag. Why the fuck are you being a douchebag to your own kid?
He'd be like, well, you're not gonna call my mom. Be like,
bitch.
Really?
Oh, no.
I can call grandma.
See, here's
grandma
the funny part
spank
with me.
you. Like she used to.
With me, it's like, you would never. You want to test me?
Right.
I've done it so many times now that she's dead. I'm like, dude, you really want me to get your mom on the phone? You can't get her on the phone. Sure about that? I mean, she's sitting right here. She's literally calling you a dumbass.
Yeah.
And it's like, Teresa and somebody else like, well, your PPAW, your grandfather doesn't like you calling women bitches. Well, until you prove you're not a bitch, as far as I'm concerned, you're a bitch. Because most interactions I have with women is them being bitchy at me just for being male. So you're a fucking bitch by default. And I'm sorry, fuck off.
Yeah.
Because that's who and what I was. Plus, I mean, when most of the chicks I talk to, even though I get along with chicks, it's literally them bitching about some dude. It's like, did he actually do anything to you, or are you bitching because he has a penis? Like, let's get the dynamics here straight. What
Yeah.
is your actual complaint? Or people who complain about guys, bitch about their stepfather or whatever, but yet, as soon as that person shows up, they fake be nice and shit to get money or get some sort of fucking reward for shut up, never tell anybody sort of shit. I'm like, hello? You literally complain they molested or raped you, but yet you won't say anything because you say your mother denies, but yet you're going to be around because you're... And this is a situation, if you hear this, no offense, kiss my ass. Why are we here? You literally claimed he did this, and claimed this, but yet you're going to be nice and shit because he'll give you money or do this, or because it's your little brother. Then tell your brother bye. You don't actually have to be here in physical person.
Yep.
Or the stupidity of the stepdad, well, we're not leaving until the plane takes off. It's like, motherfucker, we're literally sitting in the drop-off pickup zone. If you want to see the plane go off, you have to go a little bit deeper into the airport. Well, they won't let me in. I don't have a ticket to the plane. Okay, then we're done. You said bye. Everybody give hugs. Let's leave.
Yeah.
And I literally get bitched at about it. I'm like, alright, you know what? You asked me to come, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Grow up and tell the truth. Or shut the fuck up. Don't bitch at me because I literally stood on the bullshit you told me. And I stood my damn ground on shit.
Yeah.
It's really stupid to stand here for half an hour. Especially me with leg problems. To literally wait till a plane gets off the ground. You know what? There's more likely chance the plane will blow up after it gets on the ground. So you standing here waiting till it gets off the ground so you can see it go boom. Oh shit, my family member died. And have a big hissy fit or panic attack or whatever.
Yep.
Or you're having a panic attack because I've seen so many things go wrong on planes. Dude, get your shit in line.
Yeah.
And I'm there to keep you in line and your head level because I'm the coolest, most collected person. I'm like, okay, bye, time to go. Have a wonderful day.
Yeah, it's
We're not
called
fucking leaving yet.
It's called breathe.
It's like,
Chill out and breathe.
you're yelling at me that I'm ready to go because I have leg issues and you're literally making me stand here because we can't sit on the benches because we're not dropping off or picking up. Like, are we fucking serious? We could have stayed inside. No, I wanted to see the plane take off from the stepdad and the mom. It's like, Jesus Christ, you people are... You're all fucking hypocrites. I'm done.
Was this from years ago?
Oh, it's been a good few years. At least 8, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, a friend I probably shouldn't have made, but I'm so friendly and so charismatic, they just flock to me. All the lesbos and fucking weird motherfuckers. I don't know. They just like me.
They gravitate to the carnage.
Apparently. I am just that awesome. That's like me talking about the chicks who are asexual, just like, fuck. Where did that shit come from?
They're like, what?
Well, yeah, like I said, with Nico and with the other fucking crazy bitch. I'm asexual. I'm not real sexual, but it's like, is it because I'm dominant? Don't take shit from nobody? Like, what's going on here? Or is it because they try to provide structure? No, we're gonna stick to the structure, which looks really domineering. So it's like, is it just my natural like, yes, come to me, bitches. or because I'm not, yes, come to me. I'm just like, yes, this is what and who I am. That it's like, oh, he's shady.
I think it's kind of like a mix of both. It's kind of the calm and ability to keep the emotions reined in most of the time, and then also the ability to be stable, or at least appear so. And then
Hey, I
also
am.
be
It's
able
not an
to
appearance.
and be able to actually just be able to stand your ground and stand with who you are, regardless of most of the act. What the hell?
Somebody reporting because we're talking about shit and crying. Something dropped. I don't know what, but something dropped. It sounded wet. I hope not. Do you agree with this decision? No.
Why do we keep losing access?
Hate speech. Because we're talking about situations that have happened in my life or your life. I mean, because they talked about somebody who had got molested or raped, hanging out with the person who did it, and I literally had the bitch, why are we here? We've been here long enough. But they're not going to leave. What does that have to do with us? You said you hate this person, you want me here, so that way just in case the situation gets weird. Or inappropriate.
That doesn't sound like hate speech to me.
No, it's not. That's like them saying I was sexually harassing somebody. No, I don't.
Well, we're at 2.5 hours now on the YouTube side of things. It's about 1:32 in the morning.
Because I did not say any hate speech. I was just talking.
Yeah, no, you were literally just talking. In fact, you were being so vague in general. I was trying to figure out what the hell you were talking about.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Jeez freaking Louise. Well, it's 1:30. We might as well end anyways.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But so this is TPAW.
Karnage 6778.
And we will be back next week, likely with some changes and evolutions made. And this has been Crazy Peas. And have a week.
No murder.
Or bloodshed.